Go. Good evening, everyone. Today we are doing PTR again. I don't have a team to play with today on the PTR, so we're just going to be pugging. Hopefully the pugs that we find are decent enough. If not, then this might be not so enjoyable, but let's see. We're starting with Floodgate, plus 12. The TGP is going on at the moment. Gonna keep an eye on it, I guess. Yeah, it's not as interesting this season, I feel like. Also, what's up with the Twitch 1080p quality? It's awful. Can barely read. That's not 1080p. I mean, it's 1080p clearly, but whatever they've done to it, it's not as good as 1080p can be. That's for sure. Uh-oh. We're going full power. Slayer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is this? Augmentation? Holy crap. It is. I don't have weapon oils. Okay, fine. Nope, I don't. Wait, what the? Whoa. Am I dead? No, I live. Okay. We did a lot of damage here. Maybe I shouldn't have shown these guys my full power. I thought this group was gonna be stronger. Hey, what's good? Fury War. No, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. A cup of tea here is also quite nice, I guess. I haven't had any, well, much of any tea or coffee in a while. Try to not drink it too much because I'm what's it called? I'm using these whitening trays at the moment that I got from our orthodontist. So I'm not supposed to have things like that. Like shortly after I've used them. But I haven't used him yet today, so it's all good. Ah, what is this? Why did he jump up like that? Hey, RM. Oh, I got LTPS in this pool. Good. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh. I swear you could jump on those. I just failed the jump, I'm pretty sure. Not necessarily, Brendan. I think it's going to be the same as before either way. I think crit value is not going to go up much. And you'll just sim yourself whatever the answer is anyway. Did Hank just die? Yeah, he did. Hey, Zario. I'm glad the DK woke up for some pulls. I can't be, you know, outdoing him on every pull. What the hell is the augmentation doing, damage-wise? Huh? Oh, nice. Wreck Rod came up. Bro, we're doing so much damage. It's the augmentation. It's the augmentation. It's the augmentation. Oh, tank's dead. Can we get him? Can we get him up? Press him? Anyone? Okay, hopefully when this mecha drone comes back, I'm gonna spear them like this. No, I'm not gonna spear it because I got silence. It's great. Need to kill this drone. Okay, good. No pulsing damage happened. Have I always played a warrior? I mean, technically no, I started off as a mage in TBC, changed to a warrior in TBC, and stayed warrior ever since. You're not a spear endurer? None of us are. At least it takes a person to like spear. What do I think makes warrior fit me so well? I don't know. I like charge. I like the zug zug state of mind. Big weapon, me smash, this kind of stuff. It's good. This is how I act in real life as well. Not actually. Okay, that's the end of that, indeed. Watching from vacation, very nice. Where are you? Are we done so? Or are we trying again? From Brisbane? Oh, okay, yes, I remember you saying no. Arguments in chat are happening already, great. Hey Radio, what's up? Don't get us nerfed now. It's the augmentation. The pulls are not big enough for DK. Maybe the DK is not good also. I don't know. This is a full pug. I'm allowed to out DPS full pugs. I hope. I'm also getting PI. I wonder if Maris is then a week or a pack for dungeons yet. Is it Maris that does a full week or a pack for dungeons? He's working on it. Okay. I think I need to start nuking these ads. Yeah, the shield is here. Alright, GG. We can't pass this. With this tank. Wow.
Is that all you got? Is that all you got?
Oh, we're just gonna do it again? Okay. How's arms in the PTR right now? Worse than Fury. I made a video on YouTube talking about the latest Fury buffs, and I do talk about how arms compares to Fury as well in that video. Go have a look at that video. And while you're there, click like. Maybe put a comment in as well to say buff arms. Leave a comment, ring the bell, subscribe. W video yesterday. I'm glad you liked it. I feel like I get a lot of nice comments about these, you know, updates videos for Warriors. So the more changes happen, the better for me, I guess, and for everyone. You know, people say nice things about my video. It makes me feel happy. That's good. Hey, that's something. Can Warrior be meta? I mean, Warrior can be meta. Blizzard is capable of tuning Warrior to the point where Warrior becomes meta. But is it likely that Warrior ever becomes meta with its kit? Usually not. But if they miss the mark, or if they tune Warrior that strong that we at some point become meta, then that would be pretty cool. The answer is probably not. Just going by the fact that we've never ever been meta, real meta, in a single M+ season. What dungeon has been the best for Warriors so far in PTR if you count in everything you're supposed to be good at? Theater of Pain. Low target count dungeon. Only a handful of big pulls there. If they remove the flat target cap, we can be the best out there. Yeah. That's the most restrictive thing, right, in M+. Just fundamental. It's very fundamental. M+ meta is to pull as big as possible to save time. Warriors are capped to 5 for the most part. Means we're always automatically at a disadvantage. Yeah, I'm a bit worried, man. Have you guys seen this? The quality on the Twitch stream here is so bad. This doesn't look like proper 1080p. It's literally potato. Like, what is going on with the quality here? You can barely read. Like, this looks more like 480p, I feel like. Blizzard have bad internet. Yeah. Small indie company. It's actually better on the YouTube one. One sec. Yo, that's better. Is that what it is? Is it like downscaled? They're probably streaming 4K to YouTube and then have a downscaled for Twitch, but whatever settings they're using, it's really bad. You also feel like TGP is doing super well this season? I mean, yeah, TGP 7.7k viewers. Pretty weak, no? I think it's because OnlyFans cannibalizes viewers. I'm also sure. I feel like the hype of this season is on like super low. Very few people care about this season at this point. Oh, it's time. We have a shaman. A champion. Elemental. He has no enchants? Bro, go get some enchants.
Welcome, friend.
Okay, fine.
Hurry back.
I mean, when the finals come through, maybe people will be more hyped to watch TGP. Maybe. So look at BDK build. Yep. Is season 2 tier sets revealed? Yeah, ages ago. I have a video about it. I think. Yes, I do. I have several videos about season 2 changes, actually. Maybe you should check them all. Like, go to my YouTube, check any video that says something about season 2 updates or my thoughts on the updates. And then for each of the videos that you watch and click onto, click like, comment, subscribe every time you watch one of my videos,
5,
and click the
4,
notification bell
3,
also.
2, 1.
Read party. Oh, okay, cool. We're pulling a lot as such. I'm gonna be target capped. Let's go. Alright. Is this it? Is this a lot? I mean... I win in the long run, I think. But for now, this is good. You know? Totemic Ellie Shaman. I don't know. How can I tell? I didn't see the totemic totem thing, whatever it's called. So probably not. Is this all he's doing? Bro, what's up with the aggro? Why do I keep getting aggro? There we go, he's going. What's wrong with the aggro? Someone got flamethrowered. Another guy got meleeed. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. It's kind of melee hell, but it's also manageable. And that's kind of something I like. Weirdly enough. I mean, if you're gonna nerf Fury because I out DPS two DPS guys that died at the start of a big pull, then I don't know, dude. Does Dratno save nerf Fury? Does he actually? Like recently? He did say nerf Fury back in Nirubar when I felt he was unjustified. Yeah, okay, I see. Look, this was all my cooldowns. I got out DPS'd. What's wrong? Oh, I guess he ran out of damage. I haven't seen Reds yet. Are Reds owning on the PTR? Sub is owning, but Casual Addict is playing it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Red does not own. Red is okay? Huh. What? Are they worse than they are on live? Or is it power creep? Yes, pretty much Aurora. Nothing has pretty much changed in that regard with the damage profiles. Actually, Slayer gained a little bit of single target compared to Mountain Thane. So the difference was very small before, but it is still small. Does that make sense? Oh. But the AoE diff is still pretty sizable, so you still play Mountain Thane. If you want to do the most damage anyway. How is Frost and Fire to compete against? I've seen Fire do really well, but then again I was playing with Azuna, and Azuna is a really, really good mage, so... Oh, we are going for this. Okay. Mr. DK is getting eaten alive by the blade storming bots. So, you know, this DPS difference here, it's the fact that the shaman doesn't have enchants, and it's also PI diff. I think this is fair, right? I'm getting PI, he doesn't have enchants. I don't know if he's playing well. I think I am playing well. Hopefully. I think I know how to play warrior. At least that's what people tell me. Shaman is also eating pizza. Shaman is eating pizza and throwing meatballs. Fiery meatballs. Insane. What's my item level? Doesn't matter. But on the plus 12, everything gets scaled to 6, 7, 8. Always. What? Why are you pinging that for? Oh, is he saying stack so that he can get aggro easily? This is my specialty though. Holy, 5 targets. Insanity. I'm sure I just did an swirly. Did I take any damage from it? I feel like the shield comes up way too early. Like, the DPS we're doing is pretty damn good, right? But the damage requirement to kill these adds is far too high, I think. We're not even remotely at risk of dying, I feel like, on this jumpstart DPS phase. Or from the passive damage from the shoots from the ads. But once the shield phase comes through, everyone's dying. So like the damage requirement to damage taken punishment ratio seems off here. If that makes sense at all. Okay. Like, I keep having to send cooldowns on the ads. Can never save cooldowns for the burn phase. It's like Ingram Malok, but worse. It's possible that Warrior will be good next season, just because of the fact that they have tuned us very strong currently on the PTR. Yeah. I can't really believe that either. No, Blood Wielder, but they did. But the only explanation I can think of is the fact that we looked at logs on the PTR after last week's buffs, and Furies, you didn't really see any warrior in the top 10 in any of the raid logs. And I'm like, oh, damn. And this is after those buffs? So did Blizzard just look at those logs again and be like, huh? Fury still needs buff? Let's just copy paste and pretty much do the same again. Maybe slap on the execute buff as well, because people have been asking for that. I don't know. Am I using execute? No. They didn't buff execute enough for you to want to use it on Mountain Thane. Oh yeah. The that comment from Blizzard. We are happy with how. Wait, how was it worded again? It was something about they were happy with Warrior as it is right now. And like we were like, Blizzard, help! And then they heard us, or realized in some way or another. Buffed us once, and then buffed us again. But still nothing done to our target caps. I feel like I'm preaching this a lot recently, and I'm seeing a lot more people talk about the target cap as well. This is my plan, dude. Eventually we'll get Warrior uncapped. Enough people will complain. Nice. We wasted enough time on this that I get my cooldowns back. Kill mine. Killing the mine. That's very possible, Min. I'm okay with being lower on the overall if I'm actually really good up to 5 targets, you know? There is a place for damage profiles like that. Just because you don't win the overall can still mean that you are contributing a lot to timing the key. Similar to how sub-rogues back in Shadowlands, how they funneled and that gained a lot of time. But yes, I agree. It does feel really bad to be cut. But if this is the direction that Blizzard is taking, you know, I can live with that, but I would have much rather had a higher target cap. I feel like this is what anger management Fury should be, right? At the start of a pull, I lose because my cooldowns are short, my cooldowns are weak comparatively. But as long as we stay in combat and we're, you know, able to get CDR, that's a good situation for us, and then we should eventually win in the long run. With consistent damage. Whoops. Oh wait, no, I didn't do anything. I just got routed by this architect. Is he saying kill this scaffolding so you can pull more? Yeah. That's actually a really nasty combo. If you get nail gunned and you don't kick the surveying beam, lava poop will spawn under your feet and you're rooted. And then you die. Also getting rooted when these saw blades spawn, that's also a disaster. And that could have very easily happened there. I'm gonna kill off the architect. Yeah, that was close. That was really close. Get it! Alright. Uh-oh. I live? I live? I live? I live. Okay. That was awful. For those who say my damage is too high, the shaman has no enchants, I'm getting PI. It is not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. I also checked out his skill level before the key started. It wasn't great. No, I didn't. I'm making this up.
Well, well, what have we here?
Oh. Ouch.
Only
That was
the
awful.
strongest survive.
I was like, can I live the charge? Or should I go into a line? Or risk going into a line? I could not leave the charge. I should have used ER. But it took too long to process this. Oh, one of the bombs went off. I guess I'll ER. Oh, healer dead. Okay. That's a triple. Okay, I can't leave this.
Can't take the heat? What a shame.
Is the tank doing good damage? 2 million is not bad, right? Yeah, I think ever since I started sleeping, a proper amount. I started going to the gym this year. I just don't have time for stuff. Hey, Ike.
Welcome to the firing range.
It doesn't work. I was wondering if I could manually pop it. Okay, I'm dead.
My henchmen will dispose of you.
That's rough. That bomb? Oh, they managed to pop it. Okay. Hello? There we go. So I can actually walk into the bombs. Oh, right. He dispelled too early. So he gets 2 of those. Who's charged next? Okay, he's charged. Oh. Oh, IBF. Good. Alright, cool. I need to rebind Whirlwind so I can use that as a filler. Don't get stunned here, but... Oh no. Alright, that works. Was that a big brain moon so he can hit all 3? Ooh, I guess he can't make plays like that. Okay. I can't hit the other boss now. Looks like a fun boss. It's not very melee friendly, but it's okay. I don't like it that much. What are my thoughts on the pinned comment? Fury is not tanky. It's true, I died here. That means Fury is not tanky. Go left, always left. The raid has a lot of AoE fights. I actually don't know. I didn't do any raid testing this time. It's kind of sad I'm getting PI and Lust on a warrior. It's not good with Lust in the first place. And I don't have cooldowns. I did have Wreck Rav, I guess. I was gonna say I have no doubts that we're gonna catch up. But this is not what I had in mind. DPS died. Yeah, exactly, man. Is that stuck blobs of water? Huh. Wait, I'm dying. Is the priest out of mana? Oh, now we have a good execute. No, I mean a good PI. During cooldowns, during vicious contempt executes. We should not be going here. Okay, we managed. Oh my god. Okay. It worked out. I was worried for the priest, right? Because our chain was gonna get broken or triggered. Where I was about to yank him back. We got there. What's this insane DPS? It's PI. Oh no, he's gonna pull bubbles. We're so dead. We're so dead. Okay, I was gonna say if we go left we can skip bubbles, but oh crap.
I simply wish
This is what I
it
get for reading
lasted a
chat.
little longer.
This mob is impossible. That damage it does is crazy. Uh-oh. Nearly died again to reading chat. I thought there was tech to remove these camera problems here. You know, this little thing here is killing my camera. Wait, now it isn't. No. Okay, alright, cool.
You had lasted a little longer.
Do I think a nerf is likely? I mean, it's possible, but we still are getting beaten by some classes on the PTR. Like, again, this is a completely unenchanted elemental shaman. I don't know how good he is. I'm getting PI. So, you know. Don't draw any conclusions from this run, is what I'm saying. It doesn't even have a weapon enchant. Doesn't have the leg enchant. I guess it's the spell thread or whatever. Fury is actually playable even without any buffs. You can just go into your talent tree and spec Fury, and then you can play Fury. Whether you'll have any success with it is a different question altogether. Sorry, that's my Norwegian humor there for you. I think I'm very funny. Heard humor. Yep. Uh-oh. Wow. Would I have died there if I didn't distance? Oh my god, I'm dead? No, I did. So these lightning bolts are completely illegal, no? When the debuff expired, you get stunned? If the debuff is not dispelled, you get stunned. And they just spam these lightning bolts. Bro, Blizzard, what is this? This is exactly what people don't want to see in M+. What kind of pug is going to be able to do a kick rotation? 2 short kicks on each target, probably. At least is what you're going to need to permanently stop those. No way, dude. No way. And then they got these 2 guys as well, which is also kind of illegal, but playable, I guess. So many people are just, yeah, exactly, charge in and die instantly, because these guys, they don't mess around. I don't know how I'm gonna live this. I don't have any options here. I'm so dead. Goodbye.
Only the strongest survive.
Now that's a lot of damage. One might even say tons of damage. Tons of damage. So still a thing in League. Surely Freak is still around. In my opinion, the next raid have a good profile for Arms of Fury overall. From what I understand, it's exactly the opposite, which might be a good thing. Remember, because the profile for Fury, sorry, the damage profile in the raid was so good for Fury in Season 1, Blizzard had to nerf us repeatedly to compensate for the fact that that was the case. And now it may be the other way around. Crap. What am I supposed to do now? I'll just run like really far away, because yeah, there you go. Cool. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, we got nerfed so much in the raid because we were so strong in the raid. Our cooldown timings were insane. Our AoE burst was ridiculous, and it just worked so well in the raid. We had to get nerfed in raid because of that. They could just do that. They could separate the tuning from raid and M+. I'm gonna die in the ER, but I don't think there's any point in ERing. Have we been top in the meters this past hour? Yes, but I think this is the only dungeon we've done so far. Also, I'm not sure about the caliber of these players. These are the talents I'm using. This is also what simmed the highest on PTR raid bots from our testing, at least. There's probably room for improvement, but this feels pretty good so far. The only thing I don't like about this spec is that it doesn't have hack and slash, so you'll often run into no buttons to press. Did the Fury execute buffs go through for PvP? Because I hear that execute is a real button in PvP. Imagine they buffed execute by 50% and it was already strong in PvP. I don't know why I took so much damage there. It's because I walked into the boss. How do I like the season 2 instances? I like them more than season 1 so far. So there's that. I don't like what's it called? Dark Flame Cleft. Nobody expected to like that dungeon. But yeah. Surprise, surprise, I don't like it. Damage in his face seems pretty high. I don't know if it is actually high or if the healer has a hard time healing whilst moving. And the Giga Zap is no joke, huh? So I take this Leaping Spark to here. And then we pop cooldowns here. This is definitely a ranged fight, right? For the way that these sparks work. But then again, well, if you're ranged and you can DPS on the move, then I guess this phase is no problem also. What range can do that? Fire Mage! BM Hunter. I don't know what other classes can do it. But Fire Mage can definitely do it. Bro, why is my spark so slow? Okay. Nice, that's advanced. I like that. I like that. Ooh, turbocharge with Giga Zap up. Rally. Don't die, please. So, if you guys are saying that Ret is kind of mid on the PTR, maybe this is our season. Could this be? What was
Insane,
that?
dude.
Did I have 2 on me? %% forces. GG. What happened to Ret? I was told that Ret is just mid on the PTR, but I don't know if it's true. I just haven't seen any, so I asked chat, and chat said they're mid.
Yo, have a good one.
The season 1 set was 8% damage increase every 30 seconds. Oh, okay.
I know you're good at this.
Let's see any groups out here. No, there isn't. I do want to do 12s. I'm okay with that though. If Red can do slightly more damage than us, well, if they can do more damage than us on AoE, but we beat them on single target and we beat them on up to 5 targets, that sounds more balanced to me than what we've got right now, where we get beaten on, sometimes we get beaten on single target, we definitely get beaten on up to 5 targets. I'm like, bro. But yeah, we will definitely beat them on single targets with this kind of tuning, sure. It sounds like Red might get a buff then, right? If they're losing that much. They were really hyped for their set bonus though, weren't they? For going into Season 2, but I guess they didn't realize how good they already had it with Season 1 set. In that case. Because Season 2 set is supposed to be really cool as well, right? Streamerzone.gg plus 20 necrotic wake. Crims is just like casually doing numbers that I would be doing on the PTR right now. Isn't that right? Is Dr. J playing? I don't actually know. I haven't really been paying attention. Fury feels pretty good. Wisher. Oh, look. More people talking about Whirlwind. Cleaving. More. Any big pack pulls in any of the dungeons? Yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them. Theater of Pain is like the smallest pulse dungeon. Let me think. Let me look at this. Dungeons, current season. Cinderbrute, tons of big pulls. Dark Flame. A lot of big pulls at the start. Yeah. Priory. Lots of big pulls. Rookery. Medium pulls. Some big pulls, but medium for the most part. This probably is good. Floodgate, lots of big pulls. Theater of Pain. Like, 2 big pulls? Yeah, 2 truly big pulls. And then the rest is good for us. Mechagon, I think, has not that many big pulls. Motherload has a lot. A lot. So yeah, being target captain this season is pretty spooky because we're gonna feel that target cap. Can I play arms for 1 key? No. Why? Why? Why do you want me to do that? Why would you ask me that? Where are the plus 12 keys that I can join? It's like you know, the text that I put in one of my recent videos, I can't remember, it's one of the newest ones, when I was talking about arms and Fury. and how I want a rework for them eventually. I just put a little text up to say Arms is a mess, Fury is stale. In my opinion. Yes, I'm really happy to be playing AM again. I really like AM in keys. I know there's a few people that don't like the AM gameplay for whatever reason, but I think they're wrong. Join the 10 workshop. I really wanted 12s. 10s, everything dies too fast, and then you have to deal with the affixes too. Meh. One hour, 15 minutes left of this TGP. I didn't do any raid testing, no. They have not improved the stream quality here. Even on the 4K, it looks pretty bad, right? How the hell is this 4K? I don't know what the hell they do. How this is set up. But this can be so much better than it is. Like, hire me. I'll make a better stream from my PC at home here. Anyway. What? A DC? Okay. No rounds are available? PTR is down. No. What do we do now? I can't play retail. It's depressing there. I'll just watch TGP, I guess. Yeah. Wow, is this how they're gonna force us to watch TGP? PTR servers down? I didn't actually follow any of the OnlyFans stuff. I kind of wish I knew more about it and actually followed it, so I could like join the conversation, because there's like thousands of people watching there.
I can see those health bars just going down. Again, it's
Let's
early
see,
in
I'm
the
gonna
dungeon.
move
Actually,
myself
it's just
down
gonna
here.
cost them the B-res. Somehow the tank death doesn't turn into more deaths, which is to their credit, but always bad news when that happens. You also, I don't know if this is the first or second boat
Yoda?
doing, but
Okay.
the tank being low on defensives going into this boss is scary.
20
as well.
necro is no
They are
joke.
going into
Did
this
anyone
boss
do
with
that yet?
the
No.
tank without a bunch of, I guess there's still Ardent Defender and stuff, so
Streamerzone.gg. They have enough time to do it.
Beams can't cast here. There's a huge hit of tank damage right at the start of that, so a very scary moment, especially if your tank has just died and is therefore kind of low on stuff.
Yeah, a little bit scary. This Dawnbreaker
And
is
plus
gonna
PTR
be
Slayer or Thane?
definitely a
Thane.
lot more difficult now for Polish Mountain as well, because expending that battle res in this section of the dungeon, which you should be more practiced on and you know used to the separate pulls, and then not having that battle res later on for the the real meat and potatoes of the dungeon, the middle section in between the first and second boss that we see almost all of the wipes in this dungeon come down to. We're gonna have to keep an eye on them because they're gonna have to play almost perfectly in order to get through that section of the dungeon. Fiki Knights, though, even though they haven't put this 20 Necrotic Wake on the board yet, they've been very consistent at the first half of the dungeon, which is really unfortunate because all of their
Yo, this
wipes
team had the
have
same
occurred
progress
either
as
at or
Streamer Zone, but
after
ripped.
Marth, so every
Damn.
time they've wiped in this key, they've lost 15 to 20 minutes, and it's really added up for them. They've been in this dungeon now for...
What is it that's hard
for
in
an
this
hour now,
dungeon?
well over an hour and a half, I
Is it the
think.
cleaver
Yeah,
control?
They had a
20
huge
done.
lead, but now it's evaporated here. Like they were favorites, I think, to be second, and now maybe it's Polish Mountain.
Like for us,
maybe it's still Fiki
in my
Knights, but it's
team,
very close.
Necrotic Wake is a hard
It's gonna be a photo
dungeon,
finish between
mostly
probably all
because of
three of our
these two
non-Streamer
last
Zone
bosses,
teams.
especially this
Streamer
boss
Zone's
here.
still doing well in their
We
tournament.
get overrun really fast,
Here in this
and also the
Metropolis
timer is
section,
really rough for
none
us
of that
because
looked
we don't have a
like they
priest,
go
we
on
don't
the
have that
timer.
much DPS, we don't have an enhancement shaman, so
They've lost Six
timer is
Flash.
tight.
Six Flash has severed the flesh of Crims. Now, that's not the end of the world, but the bad news here is they've killed off their creation. Probably this is multiple levels of bad news, because when a creation dies there, that probably means it ate a cleaver. And that is bad news, because that's less damage on the boss. And then they lose the free hook to immediately get the boss down from this escape. It is a little bit safer to have the creations die more quickly. Like, you're not going to wipe, you are going to lose time. Now, the good news for Streamer Zone is they have time to give.
Okay, I'm checking him in.
And it's pretty unlikely that their qualification is going to come down to time tiebreakers, because they're going to reach 55 points if they succeed in this run, and then be able to go for
What the
57
hell?
in a Grim Battle, and they'll have an hour to do that.
Alright,
So I think this is not actually that bad for them, but it's a little bit worrying.
Basically,
when things like
Moon
Taylor
has
hitting
asked
abominations,
ChatGPT
because
to write a letter to
the whole dungeon
Blizzard,
is about landing your cleavers from the right target.
expressing his disappointment
We've seen differing strategies, right?
and
I think the
frustration
lower prevalence
regarding the
range
repeated
is
and
leaving
prolonged
motivation up,
downtime
killing
of the
these folks
PTR,
and then killing off
public
intentionally
test realm,
afterwards.
server
But we've
for
seen mandatory,
World
I
of
think we saw
Warcraft.
mandatory last week purposefully sending that cleaver into the
as a
creation
dedicated
just to make
player
sure
and
there wasn't
active
any
participant in the
extra
PTR community.
to heal through. And I mean,
Wow.
if you look at the timer
Thanks,
they have on the
ChatGPT.
board, still a minute and 45 seconds until the
Nice
test timer.
class diversity.
What do you think?
Yeah,
It's like
dude.
like 7.5 minutes
I
left on
mean,
this key.
wait,
They have
actually, there's a rogue here.
You can see they're just sitting here waiting for cooldowns to come back so they can have everything.
Bro,
back the second the
yellow
boss goes down. They can
class.
also start off the boss with a cleaver instantly, doing a huge chunk of damage. So they have all the time in the world. They've got 3 battle reses. They just need to execute on Malthor and get the first
Druid
win
also?
of the
Yeah.
day on the board.
True, actually. Not bad, not bad.
There's a quick little question that I had, because we've been watching Streamer Zone, GG, and Weekend Nights side by side try to tackle this plus 20, right? And there was a little bit of conversation with Makes and Nagura about the DK and bringing it into this plus 20. And just generally, I mean, it's ironic, obviously we'll be keeping an eye here on the
Where's the
boss,
secret
but,
warrior class?
you know, if we can, maybe we could look a little bit too at how these strats
Maybe in
have
season
been
2.
run, or how they've approached different
Who are the favorites? Who are we supporting? Actually, I have no clue who the favorites are and who I'm supporting. Like, StreamerZone.gg seems to be a new team in regards to, like, is a new name. And maybe these players don't always play together, but I can't remember. But Kira is well known, AJ is well known, Crims, of course, Jiso as well is known, I think, and Yargi I also recognize, of course. So that sounds like a good team.
The Druid, they have to do a whole bunch of different things to get it. CC it with.
Yoda's team, I know 3 of the names. I don't know Cass and Nade. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm supposed to know them, but I don't. I don't think Polish Mountain is a favorite.
About this particular group. With the DK,
I don't recognize anyone in the Baguettes team.
Practice on it. It just takes a lot more nuance to get it done.
Yeah, one cool thing the DK can do in here is
I feel like
control
Streamer
undead,
Zone.
so you can go for the double mind control strat, right, where you're mind
Actually,
controlling
no.
some of these vanguards. In
The
addition
top
to
2 teams here.
The crafters.
I think
not something you usually can do
those
in
are
previous seasons where we've seen DK in this
favorites
dungeon. It's
in this
often
group
been
for sure.
Unholy, and Unholy pays a huge price for controlling undead, because then you give up your ghoul.
Streamer Zone is
is
just
very
Miscount
important for
that got
Unholy's
renamed
DK.
because it got signed.
This
Oh,
season,
okay, I
Frost
see.
DK has been the DK of
Yeah,
choice
then
for most cases, and
I guess they are
give up very little to cast control undead. So Pretty cool little thing. You know, obviously the
One of the
the
top teams
Vanguards
for
are a
sure.
lot less impactful than the Flesh Crafters, but still a nice little bonus there.
Lizzie
You can see
McGuire is the
that
best
big,
name ever.
Vanguard there that's following their DK around.
Very useful extra tech. What is the special ability of the Vanguard again? What do they gain access to? Is it just is it they have like a stacking debuff or something? I forget exactly what it is you get from control undeading them.
That's a great question, Zyron.
They
I
have
one look
so
up
much
answer
time.
thoroughly, and I'm not stalling for time to pop up in any search functionality to see the abilities, which of course include. It looks like it does some damage. Yeah, it can
It
shield
just does some
itself,
damage. Okay.
and it has a cast that does a bunch of physical damage to its current target. So yeah, typically we
Okay.
don't see things get MC'd for that purpose anymore, because a lot of the times mobs will do less damage when they're MC'd. That's part of the reason why the Flesh Craft
You rooting for Yoda?
isn't to have it cast its cleavers while MC'd.
To be fair, I've played with Yoda,
It needs to
and
be hostile,
is
so it's doing
is the
it.
healer Greg here? The Greg that I
think
know,
Vanguard
the
still does pretty good
the
damage
enhancement
while
shaman
MC'd. There are some mobs
that I've been
do
playing
still.
with on the
And you are
PTR.
seeing up in the top left,
Is he
Streamer
multi-rolling?
Zone.gg
Oh, yeah?
Holy,
taking
what a
down
giga
now
chat.
The Rhinebinder, 4 minutes and 23 seconds to spare. So yeah, their strategy here has been phenomenal in this dungeon. Even with the slower Stitch Flesh strat, it's still going to be a really fast timer in this run. This will be huge for their time tiebreakers, which they are extremely unlikely to even need them. I think they're in such great shape to make it out of the day. The Flesh Crafter going down as they land the cleaver into the Kyrian there so that it aggroes in and helps them finish it off.
What? That's a
Minus
thing?
4 minutes and
Wait,
4
what?
seconds to
You can
spare.
cleaver the Kyrian and the
Great
Kyrian
work.
helps you kill it?
55 points. Not an insurmountable point total, but with the extra hour that they will now have to add to it, they are in such a
Oh,
healthy
I didn't know
position
that.
to qualify
But
today.
Why would I know that? I'm a warrior.
Hour plus
And we don't have a priest in that
extra
team.
Overtime time
True.
if needed to try to get that 18 Grimbatol on the board, and they already have the 2-chested 16. They did that right at the start of the day, so get to go back there now and work on that with a happy feeling, knowing that they've got probably the most difficult dungeon of the day. And also the other nice thing, nobody else has done the 20, right? So remember, our first tiebreaker is actually the highest key done, so they kind of clear everyone with that right now.
Why is this still
So,
question mark, question mark, question
like
mark?
you
This
were
is clearly
saying,
Grimba's
we're
Hall.
in a very, very good position after getting that 20 Necrotic Quake done. Fiki Knights again have gotten to a Marth in their 20. This is probably the 6th time we've seen them get here. And every time it's
Whoa.
just been this
Sketchy.
necropolis that's causing issues. Final Harvest almost going off while there's an ad alive, but they're able to just barely finish it off. That's actually what they wiped to in their previous
Yeah.
attempt in this dungeon. One ad still alive, weren't able to get a stun off on it. And I think part of the problem was their DK was dead. They just had the worst case scenario of events in that their DK died, didn't have enough damage to kill off the ads, and of course the player that you're kind of hoping to get that. Oh my God, Frostpole volley going off.
Oh, I've seen that one before.
Because it's not going to be enough, and man,
Sorry, Fiki Knights. Go again.
at what point, Dratnos, do you think they just have to say, we don't have the time to go for this 20 and we need to go to the Grimbatol? I feel like that time is now.
Actually, yeah, they've only got like an hour left. So what the hell do they do? They've wasted too much time. They need to go to they need to go time some dungeons.
Polish Mountain having a bad
Hey,
final
finisher.
hour of the day, but I mean, yeah, at this point, you kind of, no matter what you do, you're betting on that. If you're Fiki Knights, they've lost so much time in here, so they can get to 53 points, right, by putting the 16 Grimbatol on the board.
Dude.
If I'm not mistaken, let's see, 16. Yeah, 53 points.
Yeah, Ron, thank you for the
that would
sub.
move them
Appreciate
into
that.
Second place currently. Polish Mountain are
Yoda is
possibly
AFK in
to go to
base.
53 as
No
well,
warriors in the
so-
TGP.
and
Did
then
he
also
actually
possibly to go to
expect a warrior in
54
TGP?
with their current runs? But then Fiki Knights could do the 18 Grimbatol. I mean, yeah. Like, if you think about it, if Fiki Knights go and do the Grimbatol,
They're going Necrotic
they're
Wake
gonna
again.
have
Damn.
the same scorecard as Polish Mountain, pretty much, right? Like, in fact, if they two-chest it, they'll have a better scorecard than Polish Mountain. Obviously, it's going to take them a little bit more time, but because Polish Mountain are halfway through their run. But they'll still actually be decently positioned against Polish Mountain. And then compared to Baguettes, they're going to be one run behind in the Grimbatol, because Baguettes are going to get this 18 on the board. But they're one run ahead in the Dawnbreaker. And Baguettes can't even do the 20 Wake if they want
I
to,
think
so
they should
Dawn
also
still
go
work
to
into that
GB
dungeon
for
plus
safety
19.
points.
So,
But-
yeah, I mean, it looks bleak for Fiki Knights at face value, but I actually think
If
they're
they
not in
can-
anywhere near as bad of a position as
If they
you
can
would
time
think.
this,
The problem for them is that if they don't get out of
Then
this, like
they
on this
can
run,
time a
so if
16
they
Grim
finish
Battle
on this run,
and then
let's
do
say they
another
put
Grim
28
Battle
minutes
to get
plus 20 necrotic
the
damage,
points.
which is best case scenario. They have 32 minutes left in their day. They could two chest the 16 and
They
start
really,
19,
they already have a
and they
really
could
good
still advance
Dawnbreaker.
to that 57 point total. It's actually still possible for them. The problem is if even one little thing goes wrong, there's not enough time left in the day for them to do that, and then they're going to have to give up on multiple points. So there's definitely an argument for going Grim Battle first. So
Oh,
you could come back here and do
streamerzone.gg that died.
Yeah, it's okay. This is actually not that bad, right? The start of the dungeon,
Okay,
a
second
little
pull.
wipe
Yeah,
early
yeah.
on. Yeah, 3 minutes in. Streamer zone is yeah, it's chill. That wipe is fine. No big deal.
I get what you're saying. Just to be a little more concise about it, they're thinking that
You're saying
getting
that I
this
could have
20
been
done.
more concise in my 2-minute ramble about the score permutations?
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I get what you're saying though. The 20 is the most important thing to get, not only because it is a +2 and it's going to help them with tiebreakers, but they feel like as long as they can get this 20 done with any time left in the day, they should be able to just go to the 16 Grim Battle and pretty much walk that in. They'd have to wipe probably 2 or 3 times in order for that 16 to not get timed, right? If they're playing well. So
Yeah, I mean they could still
they're not
do
too
the
worried about getting
16
it done.
and the 18 as well, right? Like
Yep,
if they
that's what I said.
one-shot this key, they do have enough time to do both still, but it's very tight.
Right.
Yeah, if they can't do that, then we're instead going to be looking at them capping out at 55 points, which is a little bit worrying because Baguettes and Polish Mountain could both technically get to 56.
Quick kick, I want Drachmus to learn how to use SM7B, this microphone. Me too, but his microphone is like all the way out here. And instantly, my sound quality is a lot worse when I'm talking this far away, right? This microphone is made to be talked to this, you know, in this position. Or even closer ideally, but I don't like it. I don't like to have it that close, you know, I'm not gonna make out with this microphone.
It's all to play for these
Maybe
three
some of you
teams.
would like that,
Nobody's
but
out of it just yet. Any
I'm not doing
one of
that.
these teams could qualify. We do feel like Streamer Zone has a pretty clear advantage being on 55 already and playing for 57, but everyone's in it right now. And remember, the top 2 teams qualify to Sunday. That is the name of the game today. You're trying to not get eliminated. Just trying to stay in the competition. So everyone's playing for that potential chance.
Some
to play on
ASMR warrior
Sunday.
stream.
Polish Mountain in this Dawnbreaker are making great headway. They did have that early death that cost them a battle res early on, but since then they've been lights out. No issues whatsoever on these dangerous trash pulls in the middle of dungeon yet.
Yeah, Polish Mountain can get this on the board. Then they have a very interesting decision because 17 Grim Battle is by far the easiest key still available to them. I guess 19 Wake also. But like, do you need to go for the 20 Wake? Because the 20 Wake is an extra point and it's an extra tiebreaker, right? Like tiebreaker value getting the 20 Wake on the board. So Polish
the
Mountain
numbers
gonna
are
have to
so
think
crazy
pretty
to me.
hard about what their next plan is going to be if they can put this Dawnbreaker on the board. It's especially complicated by the fact that they are.
It makes me
sitting on
think that
one-chested
actually
16 instead of a 2-chested 16 Grim Battle, which all of our other teams have been able to do so far. Or regular
even
teams,
after all
whether
these
TP
buffs,
Knights will be able to.
there's a very decent possibility that we won't even top DPS a lot of the
We're
time.
kind of expecting them to be able to. We're expecting all the teams to be
No,
able
we
to,
won't.
but Polish Mountain
We
had
won't.
some pretty unfortunate circumstances.
Not as long as
where
Enhance is this
16
strong.
led them to getting just one chest. But at the end of the day, if they're able
And as
to
long
really
as
capitalize on the
pools
17,
are going to be
it's only,
this big. And they are going to be this
-1
big
run.
because
And when you
the
look
next
at most of
dungeons have even
competition,
bigger
so,
pools
that could be the difference.
compared
But
to the dungeons
getting
that we got
this
right
19 on
now.
the board is going to be incredibly important. I do think, however, their best play after they get this done, if they get this done, might be to go for that necrotic wake afterwards. But gets a
Baguettes.
little bit of issue on the trash after dealing with Forge Master Thronkus. Their
Are they
Q
okay?
goes down. They could just release here, though.
Yeah,
The
the
checkpoint
release
should
is
be
right here.
active.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Realizing it after a few seconds there, running back to the group.
Oh.
But in the meantime, the Molten Wake AoE from the Molten Giant takes out the tank. They're going to have to kite this out a little bit. Rogue may be trying to tank it with evasion for just a little while here while the tank runs back from that close
Lava
range that we
Fist.
just saw.
Oh, boom.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Lava Fist, Tankbuster taking him down. This is causing more deaths.
Ooh.
This has just been 7 or 8 deaths on the team.
We go again.
Set too.
This Molten Giant has evaporated.
What weak aura am I
through
using to
the
track and
Baguette's,
rage?
timer
My
when
weak aura.
you factor in the oh, and they're town portaling here.
They're portaling,
They actually
yeah.
get
There you
their
go.
toast. Okay, I mean, yeah.
Just grab it from
it's a
there
lot of
and
deaths, although I'm actually
just grab
not
the
sure
rage
they
bar
are
if that's what you want.
But they think they are, so they are smarter than me. They probably know their splits that they need to do here, so they are out of this dungeon, and that's an unfortunate way to go. Wiping on a trash pull after killing the boss is always feels bad. Baguettes are now in some serious danger because their time horizon has shrunk, right? They can now do the 18 Grimbatol, and then they only have time now for one more key afterwards. There's no longer time for two.
AG died
which
to
there would've
something
been if
there.
they finished that run. Streamer Zone having a death here. Looks like they're stabilizing. And it does look like Baguettes are re-entering that Grimbatol. But yeah, now they're playing to get to 54.
Speaking with a friend about
and
my
then they
age,
can get
how
to
old am I?
55. Baguette's ceiling is now 55 points.
Please guess.
It's pretty much
I will
locked
give you the
in.
answer.
That's their ceiling. So no
If you
56
if anyone in chat knows my
options
age,
available for
don't
them.
say it.
Polish Mountain still potentially live for 56, as are Fiki Knights with a perfect last hour, but
Okay.
it would have to be
You guys
perfect.
know though.
It would have to be perfect, and
Nah.
you have to remember these
I'm
teams have
32,
not
yeah.
been perfect for the past 2.5, 3 hours. All four of the teams started off the day great, extremely clean 2 chests. And
Damn, the 43, that
got
hurts.
things done in a timely fashion, but the middle of the day has really been the doldrums for a lot of these teams. They've
Yeah,
been
32.
unable to time the keys that we saw timed last weekend, and it's been, a lot of attempts, a lot of difficulty getting things done. So to expect them to be able to pull it out and be perfect for the last hour of the day, I mean, it's asking a lot of them. But again, gotta get it done. Which one of these teams can?
I feel like I
argue
aged
adversity,
rapidly when I wasn't
get these
sleeping
keys
for like
done,
3
get the
years.
Score up and take that second position to qualify for Sunday. It's all to play for in the next hour. Baguettes, we're back into that Grim Batol. They were town portaling out. I think you're right. I think they might have had a chance, but we have to remember as well.
There are no WoW players younger than 30. That's actually smart, right? Anyone who's played WoW for a long time,
It was No Speaky and Shiny Unicorns that got that down.
more than likely you're not going to be younger
They
than
got done
30.
by a ton of time. No Speaky were 30 seconds under the timer, with not the cleanest run, and Shiny Unicorns were only 2 minutes under. So it's a very tight timer, and I guess they figured throwing 8 deaths at that.
That makes
They
sense.
didn't have
Yeah.
2 minutes to give.
Because the thing is, those deaths were only 15-second deaths, really. I mean, I guess the Molten Giant reset, but yeah, they did probably lose like 3 or 4 minutes there. And when you
How old would I
factor
guess
2 minutes
Alpha
of
is?
death penalty
Actually,
as
that's
well,
really hard.
It makes sense. It's probably a sensible reset.
And I don't know.
Either way, they're now going to have time to finish.
I think
this
he's
run
younger
and
than
start
me.
Another Polish Mountain having 2 deaths on their boss here. One of those is going to come.
If I had to
the
guess.
second is not. That's okay. It was right near the end of the fight. And they actually still have a decent amount of time here left. in
I'm
this
going to say
run, so
30 or
Polish
31.
Mountain, it's not going to do wonders for their time tiebreaker, but this is a good. If they can get this Dawnbreaker on the board, they will be very happy.
If
regardless
GB's
of
time, will that be a world record or not?
Yeah,
I
think
feel like an
because of that
18
kill time,
GB
they're-
is not a
they
world
have
record.
Easily enough time to finish off this Trash Bob and the boss. It's just a matter of executing. Well, like Tettles was mentioning earlier today, the danger of this Trash Mob is not necessarily in the damage it does.
Thing
but
is with
the fact
Alpha
that you just used
and
up
Curva,
all
I
of
guess.
your externals and
I don't know what they
personals
look like.
on the previous boss just to live through the amount of AoE that it does, and then you get to this boss, and every single one of these Tormenting Eruption casts does 2 times your health bar.
I just hear their
You don't
voices.
have personals to live through it, so you're begging for any external you can get from your priest or your paladin, and they're just using all of their resources just to live through every single one of these channels. Doing a good job of it so far. Still half of the HP of the mob to go.
While players getting older, but the game
This
gets
is
faster.
getting exciting.
Maybe that's why they're
Prediction
slowing down
going up
prods.
now in chat as well.
And also
We'd
gave
like
us
to
the
predict
powerful
which two
enrage
teams are gonna
option,
qualify to day 3.
which is not really an
There are
option
4
now
options
because
for
powerful
you.
enrage is just
The
better.
3 combinations of Streamer Zone and
My
another
fingers
Streamer
aren't getting
Zone,
slower,
the
I think.
Dark Horse, none of the above, where you believe somehow Streamer Zone get upset and 2 teams.
Don't
overtake
force me to
them.
play slower.
I personally wouldn't be putting my channel points
In
on
another
that
3
one,
years,
Tyler.
I'll
What are
beg
you,
for
what are
slower
you thinking
Fury.
here? Where
I
are your channel
doubt.
points be going?
I just went all in on Streamer Zone and Fiki Knights.
Okay, let me check how many channel points I got here. Let's see if I can do a good.
Oh, channel
all-in
points?
here.
24k from me.
Ooh, there's so much on Fiki Knights. I gotta
Which
get
2
my
points?
points in on one of these other.
Will
options, 'cause
qualify.
it's just
I mean,
the
it's
odds are
it's
too
gonna
good.
be streamers
Oh,
on
yeah,
Fiki
the
Knights,
odds are
no?
insane. I would take those if I believed too.
I'm going in on Polish Mountain.
That's a good bet.
Frenzied Enrage is fun. I agree.
All right,
Frenzied
so
Enrage
I'm
is
gonna
goated.
pay
It's the best.
if it works out.
Is the PTR up yet?
I'm gonna become
No.
extremely wealthy in channel points.
What can you use those channel points on?
Well, then I can go all in for even more on a future prediction.
Ooh, you can also send a Tettles approved.
The timing of people complaining about the
Well, I don't wanna
comps,
use my
yeah.
channel points because then I'll have less for future predictions. So
I know.
That is a good point. Interesting.
They're very quick to time out
So,
people.
so Polish Mountain
Sad.
working on Rashanen here.
How about now? No.
last
I'm not gonna
boss.
check again.
Usually one of the least dangerous parts of Dawnbreaker actually is this fight. It's pretty rare for us to see teams go down. If they do, it's that kind of rot damage. But even that.
To be
tends
fair, they're
be-
not completed
tends
the
to be true
same.
that if you can get to this point in the dungeon,
There
you
is
can
one
easily
flex
finish it,
DPS
and they have
in
a lot of time left on the clock, even though the boss does have a lot.
two
of
of the
time.
teams
We're
right
expecting
now.
Polish Mountain here to move to 53 points.
And we're there yet?
We have Streamer Zone up in the top left.
That's what I'm
Midway through
thinking
the
as well when it
Grim
comes to
Toll
arms
team.
rework.
Run going decently well.
Over
so
there
far.
yet?
That one death
Is it
and
arms rework
BRES
time yet?
Have been
How about
expended
now?
by them, but that BRES will be coming
And
back
now?
soon. In the top right, it's Fiki Knights. They have tried many times to get this 20 wake on the board. They are experts at the first half of the dungeon. And
If Noxiv's team qualified, that would be
second
so
half of the
cool
dungeon is
because
experts
they
at
probably
that,
would play warrior, right?
unfortunately. So
They,
hopefully
yeah,
can
they
get
would
that
just play
turnaround
what
this
the
run.
team that they
They
got.
can't afford not to at this point. And then there are baguettes in the bottom right who are working on their.
But they wouldn't be able to
Grim
compete
Patrols to
with
bring them up
these
to
top
54
teams.
points. But then they don't have any more
Like doing
team
a
chests to
20
capitalize
necrotic
on,
wake with
so
their comp
there may be
is
some
not doable.
weakness revealed after that if they get to that point.
Unless they learn how
Although there's still a lot of
to
time
do the
left in
MC
day for
tech and
them,
they
so,
pick up a
they
priest, I
can-
guess.
They can get to 55.
But they
by
could
the
have
end of
fun,
this run
yes.
And then doing another.
GB 18 in
Problem is, it's gonna
32-24
be
is the Chinese world
55
record. Oh,
without
okay.
plus 20,
So actually,
the
nobody's done a
tiebreaker
19
will
GB.
lose
Okay.
To any of the other teams that get to 55 with a plus 20.
Tiebreakers.
I didn't know, I
almost
just
certainly
assumed
going to
that
come
someone
to a
has
head
done a
here
19.
At the end of the day, I almost guarantee it with how close these three non-streamer zone teams are. Any one of them can still make it through. I think a lot of it is going to come down to the top right here, though. Can Fiki Knights get this 20 done? They've been at it for hours, and even now, after spending this much time, getting this done would do wonders for them. It would give them the tiebreaker. It would give them a lot of time to go into Grim Patrol and work on that as well. Get 16 plus points on the board. That's what they need to
In
get
terms
down
of
to.
reworks,
This is like attempts
we'll
number
never
5
arrive there.
in a market.
An
They
intentional
need to
JoJo
get
reference
this
there.
down. They
What was
need
it?
to kill
What was
these
it?
trash mobs. They need to make
How did I
sure
miss
that
it?
Final
Tell
Harvest
me.
doesn't blow them up. They need to make sure that they kick the Frostbolt volleys. We've seen all sorts of flavors of mistakes happen for them, but they just have to lock in. It's the last hour of the competition. Who wants it more? Who wants to
Yeah,
make it
probably. Min.
The
No
pressure
warrior
is on.
Sag. I
Fiki
know.
Knights came in here and I think really surprised a lot of us. Chat, I see you still just going in. I tossed in a little bit of vote myself for Fiki Knights, but Polish Mountain are so strong. We've seen them really play. They're usually known for going big and just really taking big risks. Sometimes it comes at the cost of their lives, but that works out occasionally. Whereas Fiki Knights kind of today has shown us that they have a real creativity in working.
They could
with
do that,
comps
that
and
is.
team
Yeah,
work
yeah,
and how
yeah.
They're going to structure things to reach those goals, although this plus 20 is really putting up a wall for them. So I guess I'm just curious, like...
Yeah, I
why
can
is-
hear it.
When we're looking at this, why do you think that Fiki Knights...
Is
ends
it
up
some
being
bad
such an
processing,
unexpected
maybe?
contender that
Min?
so many of us are voting for now?
Bad
it
voice,
looked so good at the start of the
bad
day.
noise
Picking up
cancelling
that
maybe?
19
Or echo
tiebreaker
cancellation of some
fashion
sort?
that
I don't
they
know.
did Was really encouraging for them, and clearly they can do.
This is a new
well.
RTX
They've done it
voice,
on
the
live,
studio voice
they've,
thing.
they've got this
Holy
cool
crap.
DK, you know,
That was
everything's
so
working for them,
bad.
it's just,
I don't know if I
know.
still have it.
Amara,
but-
the Necropolis have been getting the better
yeah.
of them, but if they can clutch it out, they can handle that. Then they'll only have the Grim Batol ahead of them, and
It was bad.
you know, I guess we don't know how they're looking there, but it'll be a pretty low level.
I
queue
bet
they'll be
whatever
getting
she is
started with,
using
so
is not
paths of victory
RTX
definitely
voice
still
or an
there.
NVIDIA broadcast or whatever you
I am
call
a
it
little
now.
surprised
It's
by
the
how
NVIDIA
the
broadcast,
chat
but
seems
I
to
still
be in
call it
favor of
RTX
them,
voice.
though, 'cause feel
I
like
don't think she's
all
using
three
that.
of our
I feel like
non-Streamer
she's
Zone teams
probably
are close to
using
tied right now.
a different,
Have you looked at the predictions since
using her
talked about Polish
microphone's
Mountain
No, I
earlier?
went all in. And I got
built-in voice processing of some
Smart
sort.
play,
Maybe
yeah.
she's using like a
The
Logitech
odds have greatly shifted since you
microphone or
have,
something,
tipped
and
the
that
scales
has,
a little bit.
you know,
Oh, good.
So does
G Hub or whatever,
Wait,
and
have I made
that
my
which is
odds
great.
worse?
You've made your own odds worse, and
Oh.
you've made mine so much better. Thank you
No.
very
that
much.
has something,
What have I done?
some software
I think when
inbuilt.
you made your bet, Polish Mountain was at like 5%. Now they're at 35%.
Oh, my channel
I'm gonna have to
points
switch to Polish.
getting evaporated. That was
No,
not a good
hey.
bet at 35. Oh no.
You're still at
That's
3-1 odds. I mean, that's
yeah, I
not
guess
too bad.
It's still fine. If I truly think they're all equally likely, then I should be happy with that. But yeah, I don't know. This is why they ban insider trading usually.
Well, I think to add on to what Dragnos was saying as well is just like the fact that the team Fiki Knights, they play together on live like almost every day. These guys are one of the highest IO teams in the world. We know what they're capable of, but it's just a question of whether or not they can pull it off in competition. And I mean, obviously they can get it done. It's just a matter of pulling it together. And with attempts number 5 or 6 on a Marth here,
Streamer Zone only got
this
one
needs
death
to be the
still.
run for them. I mean,
They're
they
doing
need
well.
to get this done. If they're able to, they can very easily qualify. I think if they don't get it in this run, their chances are going to drastically drop. So, gotta clean it up here. Second set of ads now coming out on a Marth. They still have the Flesh Crafter. All of those cleavers going into the boss, doing a ton of damage. Looks like they're making good work of these mages and warriors. But I think there's going to be one.
I heard warrior and I was like, what?
At the end here when this final harvest cast goes off, they need
But
to
it's
make
just
sure
a
that they have
Marth, the
stuns
ads.
prepared for them, or they just hard focus them. It's just going to be the hard focus. They get those ads off before the final harvest cast even starts.
Yeah, looking good here for Fiki Knights. They've cleaned up on this boss so far, although, you know, the sets where you don't have A-Bomb Limb, where you don't have the easy ways to control all the mobs, are a lot harder than the sets where you do. Looks like they don't have an A-Bomb Limb on this set. The Flesh Crafter Cleaver does help out here.
They still got Flesh Crafter. That's crazy though, right? They brought the Fresh Crafter through the entire dungeon.
Mostly under control. That Frostbolt
Man.
Volley, of course, does it
How much
can
DPS
do
is
that
this
attack.
Flesh Crafter doing?
Frostbolt Volley, it does so much damage to the group, but a Cleaver is going to finish that boss. Fiki Knights are on
Full screen
to
Yoda's
the
group?
Acropolis
Yeah, let us
section
see
here.
it.
Exactly what they needed. Meanwhile, Polish Mountain have they've put it on the board. They put the 19 Dawnbreaker on the board, advancing to 53 points. If they can get that 20 Necrotic Wake, they'll be 55 with the 20. That'll be a good spot for them to be at. So presumably that's where they'll head next. 43 minutes left in our day for teams to start new keys. So Polish Mountain, they get a couple of attempts at that 20, or if they one-shot the 20, they can then go and do the 17 Grim Batol and move to 56 points. A pretty good number.
Throw flesh?
A death to the
He died to
there,
throw flesh.
up in the necropolis.
Was that double throw?
This is extremely bad. Their control on the mob is gone, and this is a massive pull. Not having your healer active for this pull is very bad. Fortunately for them, cooldowns just came up for Junkrat. That's the Ascendance popped, and likely the AG Ancestral Guidance being popped with it. That'll help do
Bro,
Greg to come back.
did you see that healing?
Instantly coming out as well to help.
How is Ancestral Guidance allowed to do that much healing?
Like without their healer, they've still stabilized, but very scary moment there for the Fiki Knights.
Yeah, impressive that they were able to prevent that death from turning into a wipe because, yeah, like you said, very dangerous pull, one where you usually can't afford to be without your healer for a little while, but the rest of the group stepped up and clutched it out. It looks like they're going to be able to mostly stabilize here, although the tank damage is still very dangerous here, as you are still getting more and more of those stacks. It looks like a set have been removed, though. One of the strengths of Paladin is you can drop your stacks with Bubble, with Bop in this section, so nice little work there. Looks like Polish Mountain
Drake
are actually
choking.
heading to
Is he though?
or to the 17 Grim Batol.
I feel like
An interesting decision from them
because he is the barrier, maybe he actually saw the
potentially
double
one less
throw
point,
flash on
potentially
him.
kinda
So he tried to use that as defensive. But a double throw flash on a plus 20, a defensive isn't enough. You actually need to stop it.
Even though Necrotic Wake is an easier dungeon in theory than Grim Batol.
And also, it's important to look at Fiki Knights as well here. They actually just hard killed off the first Flesh Crafter. Normally with a Druid in the group, you would be able to control one Flesh Crafter with just the Entangling Roots and then do whatever you want with the second Flesh Crafter. They have to do this entire section of the dungeon with just the one. Now, there's plenty of time left in the key, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue, but it does mean that certain mobs are going to live a little bit longer because of it, notably the tank busters, right? So we have to keep an eye on Yoda and these pulls. Those Stitchworks are going to be a lot
Yoda is
much
stressed as hell.
longer than
Oh,
you
really?
normally would see from other 20
Damn.
rounds. And that puts a lot more pressure on your tank, who's already under a ton of pressure in this key alone.
I wanna hear
Scary
it.
Moment there as that cleaver goes on.
Let's
to
go
nail the
tune in.
DK, but he makes a big play by pulling that Corpse Collector out with a grip and then running behind it,
Where's Yoda?
saving himself from a one-shot.
Here.
Pretty heads-up play there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the time.
Oh! Oh, I broke by accident. This is fine. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, I'm actually a genius. And then cleaver this guy one more time. 10 seconds. Backing.
Yeah.
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 Where is it? It's here. Block first and then go. No. Blind. Hit.
Yeah, he's so stressed. Okay. That's fine. You're not
focused on
followed.
Fiki Nets a little bit
I actually
here in the
don't
past 5
tend
minutes.
to follow
Baguette's
people at all.
back into
I'm really bad
that
for
middle
this.
section of the dungeon that we saw them wipe to earlier on. Once they get Throngus
If,
done, they'll be back on the Molten Giant that took them out 20
If I'm
minutes
gonna
ago.
type in their chat and they require you to be a follower,
Polish Mountain, starting off a
then
17
maybe I
Grim
will
Patrol,
follow.
Going to Grim Patrol instead of the 20 Necrotic Wake. Certainly
I don't
an
watch
easier way to go
streams, so why should I
1.14,
follow?
but
You
it's
know?
not going to be useful for them for tiebreakers, especially if Fiki Knights is able to finally pull off this 20 Necrotic Wake, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that for sure. And of course, Streamer Zone GG, the team with a clear lead on the competition that probably doesn't
Actually-
really need to put any more points on the board, but still would like it for the
I follow
extra add.
StarCraft streamers.
Making great progress in this 18 Grim Batol, and their timer's fantastic as well. A 14-11 kill.
It's just WoW, I don't find that interesting to watch.
Very swift.
I like to
the-
play
the
WoW.
57 points that they would advance to here will
I like
guarantee
watching
them first
TGP and
place, I
MDI
believe,
usually
at this
though.
point with how much time is left in the day and the fact that all three of our teams have had some time losses of one sort or another here. So, yeah, Streamer Zone are looking.
Is he flaming
great.
us? Me?
They are
Nah.
looking in well positioned to wrap up the day right here and right now.
Like
And
watching
even if they
football
fail to
versus
do that,
playing
they'll have an
football.
extra-
I guess it's
they-
kind
they
of
still
like
have another
that.
40 minutes to retry this key until
It's
goes
funny.
down.
Yeah, actually, I just thought of this. I like playing WoW.
Because
I don't really like watching
It's
WoW.
a really, really close fight for second, but the
I
fight
really
for
like
first,
watching
is looking
StarCraft,
locked
but I
up
don't
pretty
like
much
playing it.
For Streamer Zone.
That's what you would expect from this team, though. You have to remember,
Yeah.
if you're just now tuning in and haven't heard us talk about Streamer Zone at all, this team used to be known as Missed Count. And if you've watched TGPs or MDIs in the past, you know that they've turned into one of the juggernauts of the competition scene when it comes to
Juggernauts.
in the past couple of years.
Trigger word.
They finished third in the previous TGP, but were very close to timing a couple of World First keys that actually would have won them the competition. They unfortunately, well, missed count true to to what their name used to be in one of their dungeons. But still, absolute fantastic dungeon running squad that can compete with the best of them. So it's not too surprising to see them run away with it a little bit.
Same for you with Hearthstone? Hmm.
Yeah, they are looking so good there.
Love watching SC2. Do I watch Winter's videos?
Dragon getting
I actually
pulled
don't.
before Streamer
Maybe I
Zone.
should add him to the
Nearly done with this gauntlet. Their
to the streamers and casters that I watch. But for now, I've been watching mostly Hearthstone and Loco.
Because they've only had the one crafter rather than two. This area is taking them a little bit longer than it's taken some of our other teams, but they're still okay. And then both Baguettes and Polish Mountain near the start here.
Both good?
Upgrading
Yep.
tools, which,
And when Cyril
section of
streams,
the dungeon
that's a
that-
treat. I really, really like watching him play
It's,
with his
all
first
nasty.
person, gameplay.
There's no pull I look at in this Grim Batol that I'm particularly happy pulling. Everything is dangerous. Look at that final Molten Wake.
Yeah,
Just
wow.
90% of everyone's HP on the side of Baguettes there. Would have liked to kill that off before that went off, but
All
they
good.
have to be a little bit of spot healing Raz is going to have to do in the meantime as they run to the next pack, which is notoriously difficult for Disc Priest. They
Wish you
kind of
could see
want to target
BPM on the
in
other.
order to
Yeah.
heal their squad, so they're
I wonder,
actually gonna be topped as they start
like,
gathering
what's
up
my
this pool
BPM while
here.
I'm gaming WoW?
Once they get in
Yeah,
combat,
I feel like it's probably
Raz will
not
be able
high.
to do a
Like,
little
I
bit
feel like
of
I'm chilling all the
buffer
time.
health bars off.
There's some keys where I go like
Yeah.
serious mode and I lock in, but I don't feel like my
Here for Baguettes.
my
Clear
heart rate
section of the
ever
dungeon now for the
goes
tank
up.
And the group. Tank damage is immense, especially from those big ogres that stack up and enrage with every successful auto attack.
What would I need to
But the whole group
get
here
in order
is
to
getting those heal absorbs
display
going.
my
The
heart
first
rate
spell
on
goes a
screen
long
on
way
stream?
in this section of
I
the
don't
dungeon,
think I
but
can link
you're playing
or
less of them when you drop that moon
I don't
for
think
a
the
rogue, so
watch
potentially making that area a little bit sketchier.
is fast enough or reliable
So let's head
enough.
back to the Necrotic Wake here for
to do it
15
real
minutes
time.
here as we get into the final
And I don't know
section of the
how
dungeon. This is the
you would link it up
furthest
either.
we've seen them
I've looked
get
it
in
up
this
before
dungeon.
and
We
it
are
was
back
like
to
no
the
good
surface
solution
of
to it.
flesh. Last time around,
So I need something proper, I guess.
slowly
I
just
can't
run it out
remember
to a
how
wipe,
much it costs.
unfortunately. This time around, can they get it done? The boss is down and getting destroyed. We would like to break this Fleshcrafter out so we can get a throw cleaver off on the boss, but we're not breaking the Hex. Just now breaking out the Hex. We'll get one cleaver onto Surgeon's Dead Flesh. It's going to hit him for about 10% of his HP. It looks like they actually put it into the creation for safety's purpose. So they're going to do the same thing we saw from Streamer Zone. Just keep it
Fleshcrafter
safe,
pub.
Don't have two creations.
Makes sense.
35-0 should be burnable, especially if
This
you
is
get
a
the
player.
cleaver into the boss.
Yeah,
Get an
earlier
ECG
I
device.
suspected that wasn't part of the plan when we
I'm
saw
Googling
but
it.
It definitely is part of the plan. It makes sense. It is a much safer way to do this section of the dungeon. It does cost you a little bit of time in theory, but particularly at this plus 20 key level, I think it's actually probably almost required to be able to do this area safely, because otherwise it's just so likely that damage is going to get out of control.
You can see with that creation down, the Disc Priest barrier expended just to help with the healing here and that damage intake. Boss slowly dropping. The cooldowns were already expended last phase. We're going to get one final cleaver. Kess is far. Can he get in position to get the cleaver on the boss? I don't think he got there. I think that went into the creation or just missed entirely, and Yoda might have taken it. Look at the health bars dropping lower and lower.
There's no wonder he's stressing here. I'd be stressing here. Look at the health bars. Look at the health.
Can they get it finished?
All right.
Might jump. Nope, it doesn't jump below 5%.
Wow.
Able to finish it off, but that was a very scary moment for them here.
The Crafter is low on HP as well. They gotta not kill this thing.
Yeah, they gotta stop killing it. That Vanguard is going in on the Crafter.
Yeah.
Okay, dominate mine. We're good.
Yeah, and up they go. And yeah, that Vanguard needs to chill. Needs to focus on the bosses only at this point. So they do have all the count that they need once they release the Vanguard and the Crafter. So that may happen in a bit here. But they have quite a bit of time on the clock as well. So Fiki Knights should be good to time this dungeon, although I'm not sure if they're going to have time to 2-chest the 16 Grimbatol and then start another run. It's going to be very tough for them.
Most people are
kind of,
recommending something called
for
Pulsoid
maybe on the wrong side
for the heart monitor.
Even without that, they might still be able to qualify, but it is going to be extremely tight here at the end of the day. 33 minutes and 27 seconds until Keystones close, and you won't be able to start a new one. Polish Mountain Baguettes and Fiki Knights all in position for that second place. It's all to play for here. A Streamer Zone up in the top left are charging into a first place, but the top two teams...
I'll look into it at some point.
A very exciting finish that we're looking at here.
Flash Shaman is more DPS than Flash Crafter in single target. That's a real problem.
Also in the top right here, we're seeing...
Maybe instead of heart rate monitor, get an eye tracker instead.
The Vanguard
also an idea, I guess.
So that they can very quickly kill it off for their final count once they're in combat with the boss. Really taking their time.
I don't know how those work.
They need to get this 20 on the board. They have 6 minutes left, so all of this time spent gathering resources, making sure they were ready to kill the boss, waiting for their cooldowns to come back off cooldown so they can really send everything on the pull. They're being very meticulous about this. This is their best attempt at
Is this music
for almost
copyright?
They just want to
I'm scared of that.
The landslide coming out from Kess to keep that Flesh Crafter in position here. These are all the things they have to do in lieu of the entangling roots of the Druid that's in most of the...
Let's check here though. Last boss, full screen.
Freedom?
They have 4 minutes. They're fine. They just need to not die.
Move. Hard to see. Oh, dude.
Ooh, whoa, Yoda, bro. That was scary movement. The breathing. Deep breath.
Move.
He's on a full sprint now. No stutter stepping. Shaman doesn't have more DPS than Fleshcraft. Fleshcraft is scaled. Shaman doesn't scale from key level. Yeah, true, but I'd like to see the damage breakdown. I don't know if it's true. If a plus 20 Fleshcrafter does more DPS than a Shaman or not. Would be cool to see. Oh!
Yeah.
Cass died, but I guess it was on purpose.
Freedom.
Big cleaver. Boom. Nice.
Okay, just let it come in, yeah. Comets. Careful, those terrorist drops. Get the boss with this.
18 key Fleshcrafter do more DPS than the whole group. Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough.
Good. Yeah.
Did it?
They
did
We
it.
have time to do all of it if we go quick.
Yeah. They realize what the plan is. So the plan is for them
Look how low this
is
boss
to do plus 16 Grimbatol, 2-chest that, and then another Grimbatol 18 time that, and then they secure their score.
This is what we've saved them the entire dungeon for. We have 3 of them. Use them quickly.
Actually, kind of genius.
Go downstairs. Yeah.
You lose 15 seconds on the dungeon, but you don't lose 15 seconds in the day, and you do kill the boss faster if you just instantly B-res in that spot. So that is maybe a 7-head play.
Nate is coming back with a 9 stack. This circle that he drops is going to be huge. They need to
It's
make
wild
sure
how much
they're
stream
away
delay there
from
is
it.
actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they're going to be okay. Okay, they
Great
got it
work.
down. This cleaver's going to finish off the boss 1%.
ECG is a medical
Boss
device in
done.
general, not really meant for
They've
streaming,
done it.
but
They
literally for
finished off now Thor
but
in the
for
flesh
literally
after
heart
is
rate
soon
monitoring.
to follow, and this is
Eye trackers are
massive.
just cameras that watch
Those
your
of us
eye,
that bet
watch
on
where your
Phoenix,
eye
they
is
can
focusing on the
risk and
screen.
give them the 20 on the board,
But
which will help them a
can
ton
eye
in their
trackers
tiebreakers.
overcome
In the
my
meantime,
ratio, my
They had a
eyes?
wipe,
Yeah.
and they're gonna have
Again?
a town portal here.
I'm joking. Sorry.
Get a replay in a second
ready
here.
of that, but it is not good situation for Baguettes. They are town portaling.
Lizard
and they
didn't
don't
want
get
to see the
through
DPS of the
Here's
Fleshcrafter.
what happened. Valiona. I'm gonna guess one of these ads spawned and exploded. Oh, it's a death on the shaman to the Twilight.
It might have been
Range.
Min.
And then the Ankh death. Oh, so okay.
Into an
here's-
instant debuff. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Here's probably what's going to go on as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's all bad. In
Yeah.
fact, nothing to do with the ads. Just a straight up bleed out situation from there. Once one person's dead, you can get the ads fixating your tank, which is often a cause of wipes in that spot. But yeah, it was.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a
I
gradual
figured.
death
Crap.
after the,
I just,
after the first few. So.
Felt like making a bad
Went
joke.
From like mega hype to just oh no. Afterwards, watching Baguette.
Yeah, we actually died in that dragon a
Baguette's
lot,
trying
man.
to kind of
It's annoying.
even things out here, trying to at least get those 8 teams on all of those, but they may be shifting gears here. But
Look at all those tentacles. That looks terrifying.
finally get that
Holy,
win
they got
forward.
through all that.
They have really been banking on being able to do that to keep them in and give them that advantage. But Makes is going to be joining us here on the desk for the last 30 minutes for our teams to be able to come in. Now, of course, they can keep doing a run past that, but with these last 30 minutes or so, a little bit less now, 29 technically, they have to start a run within that time. So Makes, Fiki Nights, that was huge for them.
It was, yeah, but we had kind of this discussion with Nagura earlier on. They spent quite a lot of time getting that on the board, as you mentioned.
I feel like there's so much healing.
As they are entering this
Is this priest
Grimbatol,
that strong?
A
Like,
faster Grimbatol was around 20.
I feel like the priest's output, throughput, is higher than Shaman.
Where they can get another score point after that, maybe venture into an 18 that they would have unlocked then. But of course the other teams are also still going, still fighting for it all, trying to claim one more point, get it.
I need to see that dark pulse healing again. That's crazy.
Here, so
Our health bars don't move like that with Laren.
I actually think Viking Knights might be in this really close scenario where
This is that
they
meme of the guy like looking back, like
have time to start an 18.
checking out the girl in the red dress,
Yeah,
right?
They can barely
And
get it done.
Laren's next to me.
Streamer Zone did a 27-12 plus 16. Key Knights, if they put that on the board, they'll have like a minute to start another key. But Baguettes only did a 28-minute 36 Grimbatol, and Polish Mountain did a 31-20. Those times would not be good enough for Fiki Knights, right? You can see 26:40 left on the clock. So they need to get this key done at like 27:30.
Yeah, that healing
And
is
honestly,
actually
they
so
need a little bit
strong.
extra time to just be able to hearth out and go start the new key, right? So yeah, call it. They probably need like 27. I don't know, 15, 27:20, something in that range to realistically be able to start another key. Of course, our admins have the
27:20,
actual
16,
official clock and stuff,
16
final
Grimbatol.
sale. The
Doable,
runs
but
are allowed
really
not,
tight,
so
I
if
think.
it's close, we'll,
Good luck.
of course, have them, have the perfectly fair official ruling, but yeah, it's going to be close for Fiki Knights for sure. That would be really big for them because if they can't do that,
Yeah,
if they can
that's
only
true,
get
they're very-
16 on the board, then they will advance to 55 points. Now, 55 points is probably good for them, especially as Baguettes are having a wipe here in this 19 wake, right? 55 points. There's no way Baguettes get to 55, but
Nobody's accidentally walked into a
Polish Mountain
tentacle yet. That's good.
Polish Mountain are going to move to 54.
Wow,
When
okay.
they finish this Grimbatol, and then Polish Mountain.
They've
could
secured it
go
now then. What do they do
and
now?
20 wake.
Can I do a
Both
20
those they
Dawnbreaker?
would get to 56. So
Right.
Fiki Knights' only way to contest that would be by two-chesting this key and then either starting probably the 17 or the 18 to then finish their day.
And in general, I think
Well,
it's important to
the
mention
bad
that.
thing is,
Go ahead. Max.
sorry, no, you go. There's
Oh.
delay between us.
Oh yeah, we do have the NAU delay in our unfortunately. I think it's important
Go
to
ahead,
mention
Tyler,
for end of day dungeon specifics that usually if a team is able to finish a dungeon run with any time left on the board, it can be like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, as long as they communicate with the admins, hey, this is our plan, we're going to this dungeon, they will usually let them do that. They don't have to necessarily start the key beforehand. As long as they give them their intent to start the key beforehand, they're okay. Obviously,
Heroes group is so OP. They're insane. Yeah, they are insane.
Usually they've been pretty lenient about that.
Okay, yeah, so then
That's true.
2730 is what we're looking for.
Also, priest is insane though, right? How much damage they do?
That's gonna be
The
tight.
bad thing for Polish Mountain is
They're actually so OP.
They actually said that the Necrotic Wake to them is the hardest dungeon in the entire group of dungeons. So they didn't
No wonder
know
this is a god
that
comp.
Necrotic Wake was going to be their dungeon today when we asked them about it, and they said the dungeon we see as the most difficult. Necrotic
Okay,
Wake.
I
So
did think that
I'm
they're gonna
a
go
little
for
worried
90.
about
They're gonna go
just
for 20
a one
Dawnbreaker.
shot in the 20, but of course it is possible.
Yeah, there is a total disaster case here as well for Fiki Knights where, I mean, they are currently only at 39 points. If somehow they fail to put the 16 on the board, it is a catastrophe.
They're not gonna
for them.
fail of
So,
putting the 16
that
on the
would happen
board.
with, like, a wipe late in the run for them. And even then, they can maybe start another
No matter how
one,
much you
so-
go into full DPS and you miss sweep, you
it's
never
a
do
shame,
as much
look, okay,
DPS
they
as
need
this,
27,
sadly.
30,
Yeah, I can believe
but
that.
actually, deaths don't count against them for that timer. Right. So they can get a 28-30 with 4 deaths. That's fine, right? Like it just that's the timer we're looking at if they stay on 0 deaths is something around that 27-30 range for Fiki Knights here.
Just gotta go as
All
quickly
right.
as possible.
Yep.
That's right. You gotta pour
Speed-
it.
We're kind of going.
Zoom through it.
We're going away from TGP a little bit here, kind of back into MDI territory, but they're doing a 16 instead of like the 12s we were doing. They just got to go as quickly as possible here to try to get that extra run in. But do you potentially accidentally run into the fabled pot of greed, where you try to go for too much and end up just having to settle for the one chest, or accidentally not timing it whatsoever?
Dude, if you deplete this key, you are never hearing the end of it. That's going to be so brutal. So surely that they can avoid that fate. Let's check in though a little bit as we are narrowing our possibilities as the day is ending here. So Fiki Knights, best case situation.
Oh, they're just
is
doing plus
57
19 with a better
points if
timer?
They can succeed here and then do the 18 or 56 points.
I thought they were gonna
If
go
they
for a
fail
20.
those and they just get to 55
Streamer zone.
with 16 on the board, there's a good chance they'll have the tiebreaker that they need. Meanwhile, Polish Mountain are
Yeah,
at
Crab,
53 points right now. They move to 54.
It is
They
insane,
can
right?
succeed in this round. And
The
then
difference
best case for them is 56
between a
already
12
if they can get the 20 Necrotic Wake, and that
and
would
an
be very
18 or
hard. They would have
19
to,
or whatever.
you know, one or
We've
two
done the
shutdowns
18
on
Dawnbreaker
one
now
or
on
two
live
on
actually.
one day,
We were
so
very happy with
not
that
an
key.
awful lot of time, for
So I
them
guess
to
we're
make
only
that
1
happen.
key level behind.
Or
Has
they can
anyone
just
done
go
a
for 55
20
with
Dawnbreaker
19
yet?
Wake.
I feel like
With
that must have
is
happened,
that
but
you
maybe
lose
I'm
tiebreakers against Fiki
overestimating.
Knights, so that is not a viable path for Polish Mountain. I think they have to go for the 20 Wake, realistically, because
Yoda had to waste bubble. Oh, on general.
Streamer zone up in the top right, they're already good. They locked in.
Good luck.
While all that drama was unfolding earlier, they secured.
They probably
the
would have
18
liked that on the
orbital,
Giants.
So now they're going for a time improvement in their 19 Dawnbreaker, but realistically, 57 that they are locked in for first or second. In theory, they could need the time tiebreaker against.
No
Fiki
DB
Knights,
on live yet.
but
Okay.
they won't. And then Baguettes in the bottom right are they're going for 54 points.
Then I think my team is
54
happy
at their ceiling
to
at this point, so
finish on a plus
they are
18
in a lot of
Dawnbreaker.
danger. If
We'll never
Baguettes
get a
just
19
put the
done
16 on the board,
with
I think they shut out
no
Baguettes
enhanced
after
debuff.
Baguettes have wiped twice here in this 18 Grimbatol, I believe.
Wait, what? What did he do there? What did he do there? Why did he have to use?
That is
Why
all
did?
going
Okay.
to be
Is that?
very, very interesting. Now, we did get the timers.
Was
for
it
that
Earth
16
Alley?
that we were
Ah, it
actually
was Earth Alley. So I had to run to the boss. Could he not survive otherwise?
First boss
He had to
fight
bubble
was
anyway to survive the
6:42,
dragon
and
breath
they were
run,
able
whatever.
to have a really, really fast Grimbatol.
Shelly's team was 1
So,
second off timing
let's
this.
see if the
Damn.
Knights can be around that. Right now, 6 minutes.
Oh,
and
20 DBs were done with
17
exploits.
seconds
Okay.
is probably going to be over the 7-minute timer. Keep in mind, they need to be that fast just because of how our tournament is structured. They want to start another run after that, ideally. So they need to pick it up just a little bit, looking at their timer here.
Yeah, it's actually really close. I think it's really going to come down to they need to be within about 45 seconds of when Streamer Zone finished theirs, right? Because Streamer Zone did have a death. So
Yeah.
we're kind of exactly on pace for that. They're 40 seconds slower on the first boss split. So if they can keep
Yeah, that's
that
fair enough,
pace
fair
the
enough.
entire way through, they can get another run.
Stop at 3.2k-ish, then mess around on alts.
If you lose 40 seconds
Probably
on the first boss
better
fight,
for your mental health.
You know, staying
stop
on
around
white
there
should be losing
than to
40 more seconds on each
infinitely
play,
push.
right? And that they don't have time for. So they need to not lose any more time relative to Streamer Zone. They've already lost all the time they were allowed to. Now they are playing a DK in this dungeon as well. DK should pick up a little bit towards the middle and end of this dungeon, I think, compared to the start of the dungeon. Just there are some good opportunities here for some nice Breath of Cinder Ghost pulls. Baguettes in the bottom right, having another wipe here. This actually no longer is that costly for them because their ceiling is 54 points regardless. But either way, 54 points. These Baguettes are likely to be toast here.
Baguettes are likely to be toast here.
I can't believe you said that.
I loved it.
You just wanted to get that bit in, man.
Well, I love it.
How long have you been sitting on that one, Dratnos?
Me?
He's just smiling on his camera right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're getting flamed by production. I just need to have everyone know that.
It's nothing new there. All right, Polish Mountain are here on Valiona.
Good joke, I
This is the
approve.
boss that has caused a couple of wipes. Actually, even one so far today. But hopefully not for the Mountain this time. They need this run to work out on this attempt.
He
or
waited the
they
whole
are
evening for
also-
that one. Yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
If
yeah.
they fail this run, either whether they succeed or fail here, they have to go Necrotic Wake immediately afterwards.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
They could still get to 55 if they fail here and they just run straight to that wake. And that's
Oh,
going to be what
The
happens.
caster curse!
Yep.
Oh, no!
We're-
Can't
We're
believe
town
you
portaling
did
and we're
that.
going to 21.
Dratnos.
There's
Depleting a plus
only actually,
17.
maybe recover 3 battle reses. Hang on.
GB.
Pick him back
Wait.
up. One ag, three,
Yeah.
three
Oh.
combat reses.
They're gonna do it.
Yeah,
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
It has to
Maybe.
be very fast
Oh.
here, 'cause the
Oh,
demons
no.
are going to come out and instantly kill their shaman.
Oh no.
Now,
Maybe they were waiting until the curses came out. But then maybe the idea
Yeah.
was like, okay, res after that, but then the Ankh was early.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know.
guys are
I
50%,
think
so if they can
we have a
find
better
22%
chance.
here, this res is
Ooh,
gonna come out
yeah, we have a
after
better
the Ankh
chance
goes off. Smart
of
from the shaman to not
doing
take that
closer
early.
to the meta
The dispels need to be
level
instant on this
keys
next set of dispels. And they
next
do have
season
all
if
their-
Warrior
all
is
their
stronger
dispels,
and
so they're
BDH
gonna
is
have
stronger.
more debuff out. Tank is fixated. That mob needs to die. The question now is, even if they're able to finish the boss off, are they going to have enough time left for the trash? That's a problem for later team. They just want to get the boss done now, though. As a new set of ads come out, if they just finished,
They got
the
this.
previous
They got
one,
this. I believe in
I
them.
think they need to just slow these and try to all in the boss here. 5%, you have to get it done. Another AoE goes off, taking everyone extremely low, and you can see they have committed. They've got Earthbinds out, they've got Roots that are trying to go out, but unfortunately a multi-dot has broken
Heart rate
this
tracker,
spirit
please.
out.
I want to see it.
3% left on the
How
boss.
stressed are they right now?
Can they get it done?
They're in so much trouble here. That fixate getting so close to popping here, but
Okay.
they managed to kill the ads off. Another set of those curses do come out, but Nature's Vigil will help get them over the finish line here. And somehow they have recovered. It has cost them everything, but they have managed to recover here. Is there enough time left on the clock?
What is the timer on GB?
Syro, I think they can still get this done.
It's really
Is it
close.
8.5 minutes
This
they
is a
have?
17, not an 18, so you have to remember everything has a little less HP.
Or is it 7.5?
actually in
If
the
it's
blood damage, so
8.5, then I
they
believe in them.
can
If it's
finish it.
7.5, I'm
Timer
not so
is
sure.
doable, but it's just a question of, can they do it without any further deaths? Because, like you said, they
Oh,
exceeded
35, 30?
everything there. No battle reses left in the bank for the.
Then it's easy. They have it. They have it.
I mean, you have to applaud them for being able to think on their feet, get this back together as
My
quickly
team is
as
happy
they
if we
can.
have
There was
8.5
a lot that had to
or
happen
8
in a
minutes.
very short amount of time for Polish Mountain as that ensued to keep this run somehow alive, and thus far they're able to do that. Now, they just need to keep that going, right? If they can have that same approach to the tail end of that dungeon, it is only like 50
Cortisol levels. What's that for?
Final boss Aerodux, and they have enough time for it. Just don't die.
What do cortisol levels indicate?
They barely have the time for it. They also have that bloodlust that'll come up like literally in the last minute and a half of the key.
Indicates high
It's barely
stress,
there, but
or it can indicate
this is
stress
part of
rather.
the problem, part of this dungeon is these corrupt
That's
guys
it,
have
right?
taken out many players, and I think this was actually
High
the
blood
one point
pressure,
where
headache,
one of our teams last week, I think it
acne,
was, China Unicorns,
weight gain,
actually finally
heart
started
disease,
throwing some bets at it.
lack of sex drive,
Speaky as well, actually.
irregular
It's based on their
periods.
broadcast here as well. Every single
Oh
one of
no.
those channels doing a ton of damage to the players here, so I have to keep an eye on every single one of those channels. But they're not too worried about that. Pulling two together at the same time here. Looks like
Yeah.
they're
Do
going
you guys
to
see
be okay.
the bloodlust from Baguette earlier on the double corruptors?
Ah,
Did they?
interesting.
They did.
Huh.
Yeah.
So they lost one player to a single corruptor, and then on the double corruptor, they lost it. They said, doesn't matter. We don't need it for Aerodux.
One other thing to keep track of here as well is Fiki Knights' run up in the top left. That is vital because not only are they playing for the 2 chest here, they're mostly playing for being able to start another key after this run. And right now, their timer splits on these bosses are like just barely on the wrong side of that, I think. We'll see. Again, the admins, they'll have the actual say on whether they'll be able to start another run after this, but even if they can't start another run...
If they finish
might
this, they'll be on
able
53
to,
points, right?
To win, but they need to... Like, if they can start another run, they can lock all these other teams out, and they can get to 56 or 57. So, very important end of the day here as Polish Mountain down...
No, wait.
They're actually... they have enough time for this last boss. They can... What are they waiting for down here?
Coolies.
Food buff, maybe? Coolies?
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Maybe they just realize we just
55.
need to get this.
Maybe they need to go wait.
Paint
so-
isn't ready yet.
I don't know what the hell I was
Maybe
thinking.
waiting for a paint
Maybe a
sub?
DC or something?
That'll be fine.
This looks...
So they just need to finish
I
this,
will
and they're fine.
say I did see Tankiers' HP bar flickering at the end of that
Oh,
last
yeah.
goal,
'Cause I
which is
can't
usually
see
a bad
Polish
thing.
Mountain
Looks like
getting
he's back
55
up, so
points.
it only cost them about 30 seconds or so. I think that was a DC, but I think we're good to go. Hopefully we can get back in there. I don't think this is going to cost them the dungeon if they can get back in there and go again. Oh no, is he DC'd again?
I mean,
See, all of his abilities have gone gray.
he's not moving.
Yeah. Maybe just a
Oh,
quick
this would
reload.
be-
Maybe something
just
is not...
hopefully a reload.
Yeah, you're right. The abilities are gray.
Let's keep our hopes up.
Ooh,
Paladin
I
DC?
don't like this
Paladin
at all,
rage quit?
Pyro. This is so bad for Polish Mountain, and more importantly, my channel points.
He's back.
He's back.
Let's go.
We're so
come
back.
on. Come on.
All right.
Couple shields coming out.
We send it. Speed it.
We have time. We don't have to send it. We have
They
plenty.
do
of
have
time,
enough
6.5
time.
Minutes.
We send
Something
it.
I learned
The
a lot from
last
Ulfrex,
boss-
while it might be the last boss of the dungeon, the big end boss,
It's like
it can actually take that
3.5 to 4
It's
minutes.
about 3.5 minutes.
Beacon Knights have had a
So,
death up there
they
in the
have
top
time.
left. That's cost them a battle res as well. Somehow their DK had aggro on one of these enforcers, maybe with an attempt at taunting it out, or maybe just ripping threat. Was doing quite big damage until he died.
Fortunately, it's only 15 seconds on the dungeon timer and not the real life
Right,
timer,
exactly,
which is
yeah.
really what they're playing up against right now.
True.
But I mean, every little tiny bit of extra time could end up being the difference. And I mean, we're talking about the comparison of the timers to Streamer Zone's run, just to kind of get a comparison of how fast they need to be here. They were 40 seconds behind on General Umbrus, and we said they needed to stay at that clip. They were 45 seconds.
Yep,
behind
Windwalker is good next
before
season,
Drive
so you can
Harvest.
stop healing.
They've been
I've
better
seen
in the
some
middle
good
of the dungeon here.
Windwalkers
They've been
on the
making up
PTR.
the time they need. If they can keep it at that pace, and
Very
over
impressive
45
damage,
second
actually.
range, I think they'll just barely be
But
able
it was
to get that extra
Monksy
run.
and
It's
Dabnell
going to be very, very close either way.
that I saw, so I know that those two are very good players.
Fight.
So for Polish Mountain,
I don't know
finish
what
with the corruptors. We're getting
an
Bloodlust
average
in 2
Windwalker would look
minutes.
like.
Aerodux has been started here, and they have around about 5 minutes to finish us off, which we know is good enough.
Ooh.
Only thing that could go wrong here, and I say this very slowly so that combat rest comes back up before I finish saying the sentence, is if somebody could potentially die here and they don't have that rest back up just
Polish
yet.
Mountain
But
have plenty
we
of
will get
time.
it in a couple of seconds there, and thus far they're looking pretty good. This boss notably isn't one of the most volatile ones.
Hey, technical matter.
Going out with the debuffs, but we rarely see teams struggle big on Aerodux, so hopefully Polish Mountain can channel that same energy for themselves.
Don't know why PTR down? Nope.
Something that would be incredibly cool and similar.
Impressive
to what we
damage
saw
for a
on day
warrior
one
or
last
generally?
week.
I don't know. I don't know.
Polish Mountain still has a path
It looks
to
like this pull is fine
if they're
for
okay, if they're
Fiki
able to
Knights,
finish off this Grimbatol.
but
It's looking
I don't know
increasingly
what
like
pull you're looking at, Moon.
they
Maybe
can
it's the next
still
one.
go to that necrotic
Depends
wave.
on
If they're
the
able
stream
to
delay, I guess.
one-shot that 20 necrotic wave
PTR down to
before
revert the warrior buffs. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
be a very, very good chance of getting through. The only way that a 56 would not get through is if Fiki Knights are able to finish off this 16 and then also themselves go into a Grimbatol afterwards and time the 17 or 18.
Maybe maybe one of the devs are feeling sorry for
This
us,
Grim Patrol is vital
and they're like
as a
sneaking
first
in
ever
warrior
Pokemon
buffs
to
here
have
and
a
there.
chance of
But
victory
the
here.
most recent warrior buff
Looks like
wasn't
they're
very
going to be
subtle.
able to get it done as they've gotten Ariadax down to 50%. And in the next minute or so, another round of 2-minute cooldowns will come up, and they'll have a chance to just
PTR
find
is
that
probably
one
down
last
because
this
like
boss.
2 devs are fighting.
Yeah, Polish Mountain has done an incredible job of recovering
Like,
after that disaster
the
on Valley.
the dev that likes
and
warriors, he's trying to
TGP
insert the
were
floppy
able to
disk
that would have been
with the warrior
extremely
buffs,
demoralizing,
but
incredible
they're
work
like doing a
recovering
tug of
from
war
it.
now.
And just 42% left on this last boss, which, like you said, Zyro,
Hopefully
not
our
one of the
our
most
guy
difficult
wins.
or longest surviving bosses in this dungeon. So, Polish Mountain, as long as they can avoid any catastrophes here. they should
What
be
is this?
in
The
shape. They even
80s?
had a B-res
I
recovery,
mean,
having
WoW
lost
is an
a
old
couple
game,
soon.
no?
So yeah, they'll be able to play for 56. They need to go for it as well because 55 almost certainly won't be good enough because they wouldn't have a 20. So if they went for the 19 wake, right, they'd get to 55 points, but they would lose the tiebreaker. 'cause they
Warrior
wouldn't have
target
20.
capped
So
at
they
3
need
now.
to go for
Mhm.
the 20 wake. It's not quite a one-shot that they need either. They will have like 8 minutes to reset the first pull if they need to, but they'll have to basically one-shot it.
We are now less than 10 minutes away until the final runs are locked in. Fiki Knights, can they finish off this Grim Patrol before the final clock strikes 0 and get the next run off? Polish Mountain, they're going to be finishing off this Ariadax, and like we said, they have to go to the Necrotic Wake. They have to get that. They'll have a few attempts at the first pull, actually, too, which is what we've seen as the hardest part of the dungeon for most of our runs. And they'll get a good attempt at the key.
Warrior devs a reroll shaman.
Most of our runs from
Maybe.
teams not named Fiki Knights.
Can we have that dev
I'll
back
say.
then, please?
Especially from Group A.
Had 2 wipes to Amarth as well. I don't know. It's been Demarth today, which is not
Right.
good news for Polish Mountain as they do finish out their Grim Patrol. They should be on their way. Still enough time, like you mentioned, and we are going to be checking in with Fiki Knights again because keeping up with the timers.
8 minutes
5 seconds is what
to finish off the
they
rest
had in
and this
very
boss.
fast
No, there's no
16.
way.
Now,
Sorry,
really
Fiki Knights.
them on a timer
You
so
can't
they
win
still
this.
start another
Cannot
run.
win this. This is
That
impossible.
about 1 minute to finish
I
out this
cannot
one.
see them
I think we are falling further behind,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
I don't
killing
don't
this
love
boss
their
and then
chances.
doing the rest in
They
8
are gonna
minutes.
have a Lust coming up here.
Yola said it's fine.
Frosty
He has a
K,
plan.
Frosty K is nice.
Okay, I don't know what they're planning, but
For safety,
okay.
like you can AMS
Let's see.
and pre-immune those debuffs. It's really nice for like you're just never gonna have your Frosty K die, and they make the entire fight easier for the rest of your group. But I don't know if they kill it particularly quickly. I'm not sure if it's one of those bosses that Frosty K's just melt. So I think Fiki Knights are gonna be just a hair slow on being able to start another key after this one. Which, if I'm right about,
I don't
that
see
means
it.
Their ceiling is gonna be 55 points,
But
and Polish Mountain
if Yoda
have a
believes,
ceiling of 56
then
here if they can
let's see.
one-shot this plus 20 necrotic wake that they are gearing up for.
Are they
It's
skipping the pack after this boss?
difficult dungeon. Polish Mountain have also
Could be
said
possible.
it's one of the hardest for them.
What's the
particularly
percentage
too,
needed?
But the dogs are popped. The key is in. Here we go. Let's see if they can make this happen.
So they don't need to actually one-shot it. They still have 7 minutes to start over as many times as they want. But then they will need to finish the run that they're in and actually time it. So
Polish Mountain trying a
if they
plus
want to,
20.
They can do a couple
Necro.
of big pulls here.
Let's
So,
go.
you know, just for the vibes.
Yeah, go for a clean attempt here. I mean, we saw varying levels of success on this first pull, and I think it was actually from Polish
Hey,
Mountain
if
earlier
Polish
on
Mountain
today,
timed this
where
one,
they had pulls where they got
they
through
beat
like the
Fiki
first
Knights.
minute and 20 seconds, and then they had another
Potentially.
pull where Dingears was fighting for his life for the first 2.5 minutes of the key kiting around Vanguards because they weren't as clean. There are definitely different levels of success on this first
Bro,
pull, so
what the
not a
hell?
bad attempt.
Why is the enhanced doing 25 million DPS on this pull?
The opportunity to go for that. First attempt this time around looks like they're doing a pretty good job. They got the drain fluid cast interrupted quickly, so none of their DPS were sitting in
That's
that stun for too
disgusting.
long. And I mean, we're getting the first kite out here from Tankiers with the Vanguards at around 25% HP. This has gone pretty well for a first attempt.
Yeah, absolutely. The Breath of Eons is going to come out for a nice stun and a little bit of extra damage to help get them over the finish line as they are now being forced to kite.
How long
these
is this
last
boss
few
taking
Vanguards,
now?
so there's a lot of damage that they represent, even though most of the other enemies are dead.
How much
So
time
to
is there
knock
left?
them, keep them just away for a little bit longer. Another cleaver is going to come out, but they're just going to re-MC.
He did 29 million. Oh,
Polish
nice.
Mountain,
Next season
so
numbers.
Far, so good. They still have another 5 minutes. if they
Enhanced
have
is
a
already
full
playing next
reset.
season. That's why they're so
That
good this
things
season.
will
That
lock
makes
in.
sense.
Meanwhile, up in the top left, another thing that needs to lock in. It's Beaky.
Oh,
Knights.
so
They've
they
gotta
do
get
have to
this
kill
run
the charge
done.
back.
Pretty much
I
the
don't see
two-chest
it.
Timer is what we're looking at for them. If they can be under that 2-chest timer, they can maybe start another run after this one. Of course, our admins have the actual clock. They'll have the final say on that, but they probably need to be like a minute under that 2-chest timer, or 30 seconds under it, something like that, as we are nearing the end of our day here.
They got like 5 minutes
Having
left
another
then.
wipe here to Thrungus. Actually,
Production, what are you doing?
kind of not that important for them. They can still
Okay.
run this back and get a 50.
They wanna
score
be
either
on the
way, and
boss
either way,
in,
they're
like,
in trouble
a
if
minute.
Beaky Knights finish this run, which they will. So Vegas are kind of in trouble regardless.
In order to
What
Yeah,
if
it's tough.
Beaky Knights
Start
is a
another-
pot of
another key.
people?
Yes. We're on the same
take
wavelength.
Raptors,
Go for
they
it.
lust them,
Take it into
and
boss.
we send it.
Yep, into
yes,
boss. Last
just-
two into
just like-
boss.
Pot of greed.
Yeah, I mean, look at the
that
timer.
but
4
they
minutes and
don't
10
have
seconds. They gotta
time.
go.
410.
gotta go for
Yeah,
it.
they gotta be on the boss.
That-
Like they're gonna run
got
straight to the boss now.
Bloodlust, it's burning a hole in our
Basically.
pocket. Let's do this.
Let's press it.
We're gonna
Playing
move
a
on,
Frosty
guys.
Cave. We've got. I guess we
It's
don't have
not
Breath of
helping you if
Cindergosa.
it's not on
Ooh.
cooldown. Come on.
I
In this
think at
situation,
point, it's just
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
even if you go for it and wipe, you're still going to be able to time the key afterwards, right? I think you have to go for it if you're them. The second this corruptor goes down, just go.
Agree.
You got it. Well, they got to kill the next one. They didn't go for
Do
the double
you
pull here,
actually
which I
still
think is
time
gonna...
the key if you wipe to that? Maybe
I
you
choose to
don't,
believe you
right?
do.
Surely.
I choose to
Polish
believe you
Mountain
do.
is kind of owning right now. Yeah,
You
they
lose
could take
so
out
much
Beaky
points.
Knights.
You lose a minute and 15 seconds, and if you deplete this key, you are at 39 points, and you're going out in fourth. So, I don't know. This is a tough situation for Beaky Knights. It looks like they're just going to take the completion of this dungeon, but they are not going to be able to start another key, which means
They're gonna count on Polish
Mountain,
Mountain
once again,
failing
fate
this
is in
20.
their own hands. They can secure a top 2 finish if they can complete this run. But yeah, it's going to be extremely difficult to do that for them. This is such a hard key. 3 minutes left. Yeah, there's no way Beaky Knights can finish this dungeon.
I
It's
thought
probably
that.
less than 4 minutes even. Not
If
not
Yoda
even 3.
believed
3 minutes.
that they could do it,
This is a fast boss.
I-
Yeah, I know.
I
but
just didn't see it.
I think,
Yeah, but not that
yeah,
much.
I think they're going to be a minute slow here.
What if you just crit all of your tempests?
What
You know?
if?
What if you just crit everything? You know?
What if we had a lot of shaman dogs helping us out?
Well, yeah, what if you just
by
proc 10
magical
lightning dogs?
intervention?
10 Baldos.
Yeah, true. Now, this is one of those spots where you wish you were playing the Havoc DH and a Destro Lock, right? Because, you know, those Havoc DHs, they crit their whole Eye Beam. The Destro Locks crit every Chaos Bolt. That's the kind of RNG you need to get over the finish line here.
It's not the same kind of crit.
Can't believe you're selling that Dratnos, but baguettes.
Wiping in
More
the bottom right.
problems for them in this 18.
Okay, that's, again, not
Still have time.
relevant, right? Because as long as they restart this key in the next 2 minutes, it's the same outcome.
2
for them,
minutes to kill
which is
Aerodax. No way.
bad.
Yeah, it's
As long as Beaky
it's the
Knights
last
don't
run
wipe on Aerodax,
for
the
Beaky
baguettes
Knights.
are unfortunately
Now I guess we'll just wait and see if Polish
last
Mountain
hour has
can
been so
do
nasty
this.
For them. They basically have lost this
That'll be a
entire
massive
hour
upset
to this 18
if Beaky Knights go
and
out.
that has moved them from being in the hunt for second place to being very likely in fourth place.
So, just a quick reminder, any dungeon run that is in process when
Right.
the time strikes the full hour, they can finish. So, for Polish Mountain, they have roundabout...
No deaths in this
if they
Dawnbreaker
wanted to
for streamers
really
on.
do that, one death coming in here from the Blood Gorge is that they do finish
Oh!
on,
Lever missed the
Blind
boss.
Stone.
Polish Mountain can restart or they can
I
rest.
think we maybe make the call.
We
We've
go
got,
again.
we got a minute to start another
Do it,
key.
do it.
I
Do
think
Come on.
That first pull is tough.
True. Oh,
It
true.
is.
I think
You
you
do
try
have
to get the
extra
cleaver in the
time.
boss. It's
This
going to hit a
is
worm, though.
also
It's going to hit a worm.
Oh,
Boss go down.
go again.
3 people dead.
Go again.
Cleaver.
Start another run.
It's a
start another
wipe,
run.
but they have to do the pull again. They get one final attempt. They have
Okay.
time for
Okay.
one final
I bet
attempt.
Beaky Knights
Polish
are
Mountain.
relieved.
Do you have it in you?
But-
Can you get it done?
Yeah, they gotta lock in for this key.
Wipes
Polish
the first
Mountain.
Pull here at the 3 o'clock curse hitting, where
Listen. We got the wipe out of the way.
true.
From here on out, smooth sailing. No one can one-shot a 20 necrotic wake, but two-shot, much more likely.
Beaky Knights working on
This is our
Aerodax.
timer.
There's no way, right? There's. I mean,
No, there's
are
no
they even
chance.
going to be able to two chest here?
It's
I
like
think
30
so.
seconds
I
left.
think so.
Yeah, this is. I think they're toast for being able to start another key, but that's okay. This is still going to get them to 55 points, and that's what they'll need probably. Well, depending on Polish Mountain, right? This puts the ball back in Polish Mountain's court, which it's scary for Fiki Knights. I think they're definitely the favorites though, because it's pretty unlikely Polish Mountain will be able to one-shot this Necrotic Wake. That they
Yeah, 2 shot. It's the second shot.
Here.
As the clock strikes
Waiting
0
for
here
the
shortly,
confirmation.
I do want to say we are in final runs now. 07's in the chat for Baguettes. They played well, they qualified, but there is no path to qualification for Sunday for them. They played well though. They got some tough keys done. Obviously,
Greg owns.
cleanest of days for them, but it looks good for them in Polish Mountain.
It's over.
Wiped at the start
Fiki
of the
Knights
poll.
are
And we are
fine.
already in the final runs. Polish Mountain is going to bow out in 3rd place. It's not enough.
GG.
Oh, as predicted, as foretold. My channel points, no. How could this happen to me? Poor Polish Mountain. They had such a good day as well. Things were looking
Yo, that's so relieved.
solid.
Yeah, I bet.
It looked like they had such a good chance when Fiki Knights were wiping in that 20 wake, but Fiki Knights, incredible resilience there. They clutched out that 20 necrotic wake. You know, after
Cass just got
several,
tentacled. Is he okay?
disasters, against a Marth.
He lived the tentacle and he's stuck out there. Wait, now he's dead.
Run.
Okay, alright.
Even with the death here at the end of this Grim Batol, it looks like they are going to be able to move to an unassailable 55 points here. There it is, 55, second place for Fiki Knights. That is good enough to see them through to Sunday. Polish Mountain having just barely not enough time to start another run, wiping right after that run became final, are out in 3rd, and Baguettes are out in 4th.
Okay.
Whether or not they
I guess we
can
see if
their
Streamer
run.
Zone
And Streamer Zone have locked up a first. They're playing to
get a better timer now.
here in this
They could just
Necrotic because their
end
previous
the
Necrotic was a 32-10.
end the day now,
Or sorry, not
pretty
Necrotic,
much.
Dawnbreaker, of course. They think they can do better than that 32-10, but it doesn't matter. Either way, they're not just winning on time tiebreakers. They are winning by 2 points over Fiki Knights. An incredibly dominant performance from Streamer Zone, because not only are they winning by multiple points, but they got here with time to spare in the day, and they've just been improving.
They were
their
really
time in the last
consistent,
10
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
That'll be a good feeling for them. Obviously, we've been singing their praises all day. Again, 3rd in the previous TGP. We're competing for 1st. They had a chance. I think this is a very real opportunity for them to win this TGP. This is an incredibly strong team. They have the capability of doing all the highest keys. And I mean, this has got to be something that really helps their confidence here. This was a great first day for them, and hopefully they can continue playing like this moving forward.
Honestly, I was a little bit worried because what I've been seeing from formerly Miscount, now Streamer Zone, is good runs until a one hiccup comes in, and then the consistency comes back to bite them. And when they wipe twice on a Marth, I was scared. I'm going to be very honest about that. I was a doubter. I was worrying that it was going to come back to what we saw before, but they clutched it up, they cleaned it up, they came back stronger, and I'm really, really excited.
His
to
healing
see
is
this
so
final
strong.
shine and excel and come back from their mistakes stronger.
I have one very important thing to say. Mods, pay me my channel points. Where are my channel points at?
Oh man, you're getting some of my channel points. Oh, this is tough. Treat them well.
I'll
How
hold
many
on to
are you
them
out,
for a further
Rattles?
gamble.
I was out a couple thousand. That's
Oh,
tough.
wow.
I'm now on true
That's a
0
lot.
channel points here. This is brutal.
Couldn't be me.
Did you gamble any points, Biggs?
Just a little.
Just
On
a
what?
little?
Gotta dabble a little bit, you know.
Which outcome were you?
I guess it's still
were
playing.
you on?
Of course, I always correct outcomes.
Is the PTR up yet?
Why not why not all in then?
Well, I don't want to be greedy, you know.
I see.
Pot of greed is confined
No.
to dungeon runs.
That makes sense.
Not my own choices.
That makes perfect
I
sense.
left myself a modest sum of 50 channel points in reserve if I was incorrect with my
That's
bet.
good. Yeah, you gotta be able to start
What were
building
you
it
gonna
back
use
up.
them for?
Yeah.
Do we even have a redemption for 50?
No.
No, right?
No.
It's like 500.
No, but you can build it back
It's
up.
50.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's 50 more points towards the rebuild, but obviously don't need the rebuild because won the bet, so all good.
Yeah, if you're somebody out there who originally was going to bet on this outcome, and then I debated you into the into changing to Polish Mountain with my logic earlier, you know, my bad. Sorry about your channel points.
Is this a better timer than their old one?
Yeah, I'll get you back. Don't worry. And tomorrow I'll have some really good prediction insight. So
There's so much time left.
you can get it back then.
Don't know if Now's team made it. I don't actually know. All right, let's check out this clip. This is Yoda being relieved, I guess.
They lost. They lost. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. Well played.
He's so relieved.
Well.
Is that it? Is there more? Okay, go.
Right? This being a time that really seems like, as they shave off some time here, a time for them.
Man, Rushton's health just goes down
get into
so
working on
slow.
consistency. They've been practicing. They seem to feel more coherent than ever in their approach to the dungeons this time around. But I mean, it's ironic looking at how they played today. You know, what do you think some of the big takeaways in any of their improvements or in the runs that you saw?
I think, if I remember correctly, the thing with missed count in previous TGPs was they had the potential to do all of the runs that the top teams could, but they were just a little bit less consistent. But the consistency was great for them today, like Dratnos was talking about. They got all their runs done with plenty of time left in the day. If you ever see a team in the TGP going back to a key they've already timed at that level just to go a little bit faster, you can tell that their day went pretty well. So if this is the new streamer zone, previously missed count, I mean, I love it. They have a great chance of doing well in this competition. I think their level of play today was at least on par with what we saw from Mandatory and No Speaky last weekend.
Yeah, I want to highlight something as well. In previous TGP formats,
healing this just looks so
it was
rough.
easier to be done in a day as well. Now you have 3 dungeons on each of these days. It is very hard to be done with all 3 of those dungeons in the short amount of time that we give these players in the day, right? 5 hours minus 20 minutes of breaks. So yeah, Streamer Zone, I mean, they basically had no mistakes today, right? Like they put every key on the board on their first or second try, and now they're back making their Dawnbreaker a couple minutes faster when they don't even need this. They don't even come close to needing this. They are in such a great position. So yeah, I mean, this is a team I remember in some previous MDIs and TGPs talking about the missed count in theory being faster than like Echo or Perplexed or whoever at the time, right? But then of course it doesn't always come into practice, right? But today they have executed. It's been 5 extremely clean hours from this team. You only have to do that a couple more days and you're TGP champion.
Let me move my camera a bit
I mean,
so you can see the percentage.
Theory is not, as you said, execution, but here they are executing, and they seem to be in a better place than we have seen them ever before, living up to some of that potential. You know, I just wanted to draw everybody's attention as well here towards the chat. There's a poll up that's very important in case anybody else would like to hop in there. Some of us didn't vote with Dragon.
She did say execute.
So we're good. But those of you
execute did get buffed for 50%.
Just think about it a little bit and see. I see Makes. I think you maybe have chosen not to follow Dratnos' lead. Did you?
Surely foreshadowing. Yeah, surely.
I mean, it's just very important to not let yourself get caught.
Bustle died at like 2:45.
Master might say, you know, they try to.
Is that time improvement?
To run their Ponzi channel point schemes. It's very important you don't give in to these.
Thank you
Bro,
so
the
much,
boss health is
for
not
the
moving.
PSA. We really appreciate that.
Maybe it's
yeah,
2:30
don't
after
get
all.
Taken in by Dratnos, channel point schemes. Believe in the rest of us. But you know, Makes, while we were talking about streamers,
Ages mana is gone.
In the background, I heard a little.
Because Dratnos said they basically had no
2:34
mistakes and timed everything with 1 or 2 tries. Let's maybe say 3 tries, and I'm on.
Oh, Baguette's is still going. Zero deaths?
Yeah. Sure,
54
sure,
points.
Yeah,
well, they can't win.
Onto Dratnos.
History
Do they
is
get
written
third
by
place
the
if they win
winners,
this?
I understand.
If they time
No,
this?
I mean,
rather?
I think this wasn't. We can't say they had a flawless day, but certainly, I think comparatively and sort of looking at even past performance, they really did seem to have a better throughput this time around. in executing what they wanted and really coming through with it, which was great to see. And now, of course, as they finish that up, we're looking at Baguettes. And, you know, Baguettes are underdogs here. I don't want to butter everybody up to them, but it was really wonderful seeing them compete, even if they are now toast in the competition. It was really great,
stole the
honestly.
joke.
And I think they kept pace pretty well up until the very end, but seemed to really be able to kind of hold their own until a little bit of that gap with some of those plus 20s started up. But as we kind of look back on the whole day here, and as ironic, I see, you can't see, but rubs his head off camera because of all the puns. Dratnos will cherish
I think of
some
Warrior so
opinions
far in the
because they are
PTR.
good ones, no matter how
It's
much we tease you. But how do you think things
It's
shook
not
out
bad.
overall today for Division 1 of Group B?
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple of kryptonite dungeons that our teams ran into, and it's sort of similar to what we saw last weekend. This 18 Grimbatol was Baguette's kryptonite dungeon. They've been in here for more than an hour now, failed to put this on the board. That cost them the chance at qualifying out of today. 20 Necrotic Wake was Fiki Knights' kryptonite, but they managed to overcome it, and I think they were saved. Fiki Knights were saved by how quickly they got through their 19 Dawnbreaker earlier
tank
today.
dead.
We may be watching Baguettes ending their attempts here.
No.
2 B-reses are available, but they don't have anybody good to be able to cast them anymore. They're down
It's
so many
Jover.
players. Will they be able to land one of these
They just gave up,
engineering
right?
reses? They just have a priest and a rogue alive.
They gave up.
Looks
It's
like gonna
Jover.
be a no. It looks like this is going to be the end of Baguette's attempt here at this 18 Grimbatol that has definitely proved to be their kryptonite today.
Oh, I mean, it's a tough one, right? This dungeon, the dragons are not messing around, and they will barbecue you in a split second. But that will go ahead and give us the end of all the runs today. Streamer Zone, GG, coming out on top
Cool.
here, but with a surprise.
Well, I mean, if the PTR is down again tomorrow, I'll be watching I'll be watching TGP again tomorrow, I guess. Hopefully, the PTR will come back up again, so I can play PTR tomorrow. That would be nice. But we don't have PTR now, and we don't have TGP. So I think I'm just gonna call it, go sleep. I'm a little bit hungry anyway, so I need to get a snack of something, and then go sleep. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you had fun. I kind of enjoyed it, surprisingly enough. I thought I wasn't gonna enjoy watching the TGP, but it was alright. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Good night.